Today we're going to cover something really fun and exciting. It's the 3 secrets to algorithmic trading, right? Or in other words, how to make money trading without making expensive and emotional mistakes. So I bet a lot of you guys are doing these very emotional mistakes with trading. This is a way to get around that and a way to actually have a much higher probability of things working out well. I see here, Ingrid says hello. I have my granddaughter in the back. That's great, Ingrid. Sounds good. Brian says hi, Brian. Okay, so are you guys ready to get started? All right, perfect. Okay, so let's get this kicked off. All right, so a few key points before we get started, right? So first of all, if you guys have lost money trading in the past, it is not your fault. You're trading on emotion and you didn't have data to back you up. So if you guys feel bad that in the past you guys have traded before and you've lost some money, chances are you guys are trading off of emotion. You were not trading off of data. So we're going to help you with that today, right? Second of all, if you've ever been concerned in the past that you can't succeed with trading, well, let me put that to rest. You can do this. You just need the right person to teach it to you. You need the right person to show you how to trade and how to actually do well in this, right? Number 3, the big hedge funds, they want you to think that you need a PhD to make your own algorithms. They're completely wrong. I can't explain how wrong they are. We've taught a lot of people. They definitely do not have PhDs. A lot of people have built some fantastic algorithms. And they have their own reasons for thinking that, mostly in their favor, but it's definitely not true. I've seen people, as young as in their 20s, as old as in their 60s, definitely no with PhDs, building some pretty fantastic algorithms that make quite a bit of money. Number 4, if you ever thought that the banks want you to fail, you're probably right. Banks don't benefit from your success, right? They want to keep your money under their control. That's the whole point of a bank, is they want to get your money. They want to keep it under their control. They're not making money off you making money. They're making money off keeping your money, right? So if you ever think that they're kind of set for you to fail, they're not really on your side, you're probably right, right? And thank you, Wendell. Welcome. Your son's 27, you're 65. Welcome, Wendell. Sounds great. And then last of all, I know you guys have a dream to make lots of money and to make a big impact. And I want to show you how to make that happen during this webinar today. This is what my aim is for today. Right. Okay, so who is this class for today? Who are we making this webinar for today? Well, first of all, it's for traders or investors who have never programmed before. If you've never coded a day in your life, and even if you don't want to ever code a day in your life, this is made for you. We've made a lot of progress to make this thing quite a bit easier, right? We've made this class quite easy, whether you know how to program or not, right? So if you've never coded before, you get a clear path to learn how to code, right? And you'll also learn how to very quickly learn how to get started applying this stuff to your trading, right? So we have lots of code that you can copy and paste. We have lots of AI tools that can help you. If you want to learn how to code, we have a very good path for you to learn how to do that and learn how to build your own algorithms, right? Even if you don't want to learn how to code ever, we have stuff that you can just simply copy, paste, and get going with, right? Copy, paste, modify a few things, and that's it. Right. So if you've never coded before, if you don't even want to code in the future, this is for you. Right. But it's also for those of you that are traders, investors that are experienced programmers. Right. If you guys have been coding for a long period of time, and maybe it's your job, maybe you're a computer programmer, maybe that's what you do, this is for you as well. Right. So we have things that make even the most experienced programmers learn a lot from what we're doing, right? You'll learn how to apply your skills to the world of finance. You'll learn how to access dozens of advanced trading strategies, and you'll get a thriving community of people to help you build algorithms. So whether you've never coded before, we can help you with that, right? We can help you learn how to code. We can help you build this stuff out. Or even if you don't want to learn how to code, we can just give you things to copy and paste, right? But if you are a coder and you really want to take things to the next step, you want to learn how to apply this to the world of trading and investing, learn how to apply your skills, or really just take things to the next level, we can help you with that as well. Right. So what is my goal for the presentation? I want to be clear with you guys about what I'm trying to accomplish from this. Well, my goal is to make you believe that algo trading, algorithmic trading, is the key to unlocking incredible success in trading and investing. And I'm going to show you this through my proprietary frameworks that will make it simple for you to achieve that result. All right. So I'm hoping that by the end of this class, you will understand why this is such an important thing and why there's so much value in algo trading. Okay. But before we get started, do you guys want to save some money? Who here wants to save some money? All right, we got a couple yeses here. Me, perfect. So yep, we got a couple people raising their hands. We got some chats here. Perfect. All right, so if you guys want to save some money, make sure you stick around until the end. All right. So if you stick until the end, you're going to get a coupon code that's going to make you save even more money on all of our plans. So make sure you stick around till the end and you're going to get that coupon code. All right. We got a bunch of people here. Of course, me. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So here's our agenda for today. So this is what we're going to be covering today. So first of all, I want to share these slides with you. So let me grab this link. Right. And I'm going to copy these slides. I'm going to share them with you. So I'm going to put these into the chat. So if you want to follow along, you want to view these slides as we're going through them. If you want to click on any of the links and all that kind of stuff, then you could check it out. Ramadez, you say what platforms? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Ramadez. Maybe you could describe a bit more what you mean by that. So step one, I'm going to share these slides with you. So if you guys want to follow along, you have that link now. It's inside of your chat. Second of all, we're going to get to know who's on this call. So I want to get to know you guys a bit. You guys are the stars of the show. So I would like to get to know you guys a little bit, and you tell me kind of where you're coming from. I can also tailor this to you because of that. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, what my background is, and kind of why I'm so passionate about this, and what we've been doing over the years. We built some pretty amazing things. Then I'm going to tell you about the different secrets. We have 3 secrets I'm going to show you today, 3 secrets to trading and to algo trading specifically. We're going to run through those. Then I'm going to show you a couple of case studies of past students. Then we're going to talk about what is the all access plan and how to get it if you guys are interested. Right. And then also I have questions at the very end here. However, please ask questions throughout the presentation. It's a lot more interesting when you guys ask questions. It makes it a lot better when this is interactive. So don't feel like you have to wait until the end. Right. So if you have a question, feel free to put it up and put it into the chat. Right. Okay. So let's get it kicked off. All right. So for starters, let's get to know you guys. So if you guys can answer these 3 questions in the chat, right? So type onto the chat, what is your occupation? Do you know how to program? And if so, how long have you been programming for? And then also, how much investment experience do you have? Are you brand new to investing? Have you been investing for 20, 30 years? Kind of what's your background there? So please answer these 3 questions. I'm going to put these into the chat and I'm going to get to know you guys. Okay, perfect. And Ramadez says, as brokers, I'll wait. I'm sure you're going to tell us. It's not actually part of the presentation, Ramadez, by the way. So what brokers do we work with? We currently work with Interactive Brokers, Alpaca, and a few of the crypto brokers, including Binance, Kraken, and a few of the other ones. Not every broker allows you to do algorithmic trading. So we're working with some of the bigger ones. We're soon going to be adding in Tradier as well, and we're going to be adding in Schwab. Right, so that's what we're going to be getting to. Right, so thank you for that question, Ramadez. Okay, so you guys are answering some of these questions. So we have a few of these people, answering here. So Miguel says, I'm trading for the last 3 years. Sounds great. Let me know some of the other questions here. So you guys are telling me you're retired. Joseph is saying he's retired. Phalange, I don't have any experience across all domains. That's no problem, right? So if you don't have any experience, by the way, we've made this course super, super easy. Actually, we're getting to the point where you don't need a code at all, right? We have trading signals that you don't need a code whatsoever. You don't need to show up to class. You don't need to do any of that stuff. We'll just give it that all to you through our trading signals and through our code they can copy and paste, right? Robert says, okay, thank you. Azuka says, medical doctor, very cool. Thank you for your service. That's awesome. I always love speaking to doctors. Don't know how to program in 10 years of investing. That sounds great, Azuka. So just as I mentioned, you don't need to be a programmer. You don't even need to learn how to program to do a lot of our stuff. If you want to, you could build your own stuff and you could build some really cool things. But we've made our program as such where you don't have to code. You just have to learn how to set up. You copy, paste. If you want to change a few things, you can do that. Or you just run it as is. We've made this quite easy for people to get started. All right. So if you don't know how to program, you don't want to learn how to program, you don't have to. Right. Mesha says, full-time beginner trader, no programming experience, and 1 year investing experience. Very cool. Welcome, Mesha. That sounds great. George says, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Yes, I'm an intermediate programmer. Very cool. Awesome. Welcome, George. So George, you're someone that does have some programming experience. What you could do is you could take things to a whole new level, right? You could take a lot of our code that we have here, and I believe strongly that you can build some really, really amazing stuff. A lot of people that have joined in that have this programming experience, they've been able to build some really amazing things, right? So you definitely don't need programming experience, but we are a school that's been around for a long time teaching people how to do this. And we have a lot of very advanced concepts. So if you have that programming experience, I'm sure you could build some really amazing algorithms and shoot this way out of the sky. That's fantastic. So welcome, George. It's great. Miguel says, I'm a programmer too. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, again, so if you have that programming experience, if you know how to code, you could take our code. I'm sure you could take it to a whole new level and create some really amazing things, but it's absolutely not required. You do not have to be a coder. So even if you're a beginner, we have code, you could just use it, copy, paste it, get started. But if you do know how to code, we'll show you how to take that to a whole new level. Right? Paul Dom, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Beginner in trading, very cool. So again, if you're a beginner in trading, a lot of times this can be very helpful, by the way. If you're someone who's brand new to trading, if you get started, a lot of people get started and kind of just follow things they see on YouTube and that sort of thing. And a lot of people end up making very bad decisions when they first get started with trading. When you use data science and when you use algorithms and things like that to trade, you end up learning a lot about how the stuff works and was a good algorithm, what's a good strategy, what's not. So I found a lot of people that are beginners to trading that got started with this sort of thing. They end up starting on the right foot and they end up making a lot of money. I'll tell you a story about this later on how this is so important. So thank you, Padam, for letting me know. Jorge says, engineer, no coding experience, 3 years investing. Thank you very much, Jorge. So again, if you don't have coding experience, you don't need to. You can copy paste a lot of our stuff. We have pre-built algorithms they could use just out of the box. Joseph says JavaScript, C++, very cool. Sounds like you know your stuff with coding. C++ is definitely one of the harder languages, so I can appreciate your abilities. Welcome, Joseph. George Lewis Jr. says beginner trading, some crypto. Very cool. Right now is actually a very good time for crypto. We've been seeing things pop quite a bit. There's a bunch of new algorithms that we're planning on building around crypto, especially around some of these smaller crypto coins. There's a lot of really good opportunities, I think. So very cool. Welcome, George. Phalange says retired, no experience with coding or trading. Well, welcome. This is a great place to get started, right? If you've never traded before, we could definitely help you with that, help you start off on the right foot. And again, you don't have to be a coder to do this stuff. We already have a lot of things for you. You can just use what we have to copy and paste, that sort of thing. Matt Sharp says sales, no, and a beginner to trading. Very cool. Welcome, Matt. Joseph says 20 years trading equity options. Very cool. I'm going to show you some cool stuff today, Joseph. If you're into options trading, I'm going to show you a few strategies today that I think you're going to find very interesting. Azuka says no crypto experience. That's fine. Crypto is definitely one of those things that you either love or you hate. It's risky, can make you a lot of money potentially. So it's definitely it's not for everybody, but for those that love it, they do love it. I used to work at a crypto company back in the day. I helped start one of the bigger brokerages. Ramadesh says, I'm in trading and still willing to learn more. Very cool. Welcome. Ashish says, software professional with 13 years plus experience and good understanding of coding as well. Very cool. I think, Ashish, you can get a lot out of this course. If you have 13 years of programming experience, I think you'd be able to knock this right out of the park. Honestly, the people that have the programming experience, again, you don't need it, but if you do have it, holy crap, you could do some really amazing stuff. Take our algorithms and bring them to the whole next step. We have a lot of cool machine learning stuff I think you'll find interesting. We're definitely one of the more advanced programming or trading schools out there for this sort of thing. So you can definitely get a lot out of what we're doing. George Lewis Jr. says he's a chef. Very cool. Awesome. That's fantastic. I could use some good food right now personally. Very cool. Podum says Forex trading, beginner, no experience with coding or trading. Okay, very cool. Thanks for letting me know. Joseph Berger says 5 years AG futures. Oh, very cool. Futures traders, that's awesome. I feel like you can make a ton of money doing this stuff. Futures trading is amazing because you could use a lot of leverage. You can make a lot of money doing these things. So if Joseph, you have some good future strategies, especially if you've been making money, automating this stuff, I think you can make a killing. I've seen people that have automated future strategies and holy crap, they're making a ton of money. So very, very cool. Welcome, Joseph. Wendell says licensed vocational nurse, not a programmer, but messed around with it as a hobby. Very cool. Awesome. At least 10 years starting in the 80s, made a fair amount of money. Market started to get weird, took my money, wanted to go out a winner. Now older and smarter, makes sense. I think you can make quite a bit of money doing this stuff, Wendell. Very cool. And again, thanks for your service as a nurse. It's definitely a very good profession. I know people that worked as nurses. I know how hard it is, right? So thank you very much for all your work. Misha says, oh, it's a pronounced Misha. Sorry, Misha. Pronouncing it Misha. Thank you very much. Actually, no, I know someone named Misha. I don't know if you know this, but Misha in Polish actually means teddy bear, right? Which is it's a very nice name. I like that name. Welcome, Misha. Wendell says, should have mentioned I started as a medic in California Army National Guard. Very cool. Well, even more so. Definitely welcome. Thank you for your service, Wendell. It's fantastic. Ramadas, copy and paste is a blessing. Yeah, 100%. We literally have over 100 algorithms now that you guys can copy and paste and use. So you don't have to code any of this stuff from the beginning. This is not something that you have to spend, the next couple of months learning. Although if you wanted to get really good at this stuff, you can. We have tons of courses on all this stuff, and you could definitely get really deep into that. But a lot of it, you could also just copy, paste, and get moving. So 100% Ramadas. Florence says, can we move on, please? Yeah, we're going to get going. Kimberly says, webmaster, Python, very minimal trading experience. Welcome, Kimberly. And Misha says, no problem. Thank you. LOL. Sounds fantastic. Awesome. Thank you, guys. It was great to get to know you. It was awesome. It was absolutely fantastic. You guys sound like a great group of people. It seems like we have a good mix between people that know how to code, that know how to trade, and don't know how to trade. So welcome, guys. As I mentioned before, you don't have to be an expert coder. You don't have to be an expert trader. A lot of our stuff you could just use right out of the box. However, if you want to get really deep into it, you could definitely go down that path as well. All right. Cool. So thank you very much. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, right? You guys spent some time explaining to me your background. So let me tell you about myself and my background. So first of all, I've been coding for a very long time. I've been coding for over 25 years now. I started when I was like 12 years old. Dates me a little bit there, but it's been a very long time that I've been coding. So I've done almost every programming language you could think of: C, C++, JavaScript, whatever, right? I also have a degree, a master's in finance, which I got from a school in Canada called Schulich. It's kind of like an Ivy League in Canada. Probably have never heard of it if you're in the States. I got accepted to a bunch of Ivy Leagues, but instead of paying $250,000 for Carnegie Mellon, I decided to pay $30,000 for a Canadian school. So it's kind of a nice thing there. But I have my degree in that. Almost got my CFA as well. I also have 10 years experience of working in financial technologies companies and on Wall Street. I've worked at a bunch of different companies doing all sorts of different things in fintech. Some of these things I made. So for example, I created an app that's processed over $50 billion in mortgages. I used to work at a company called Greystone, which does commercial mortgages. They do like $15 billion in mortgages per year. I got to know their CEO and basically helped build out the new tech team, right? So I hired a bunch of people. We built this thing out. And to date, like I said, I think we've done over $50 billion in mortgages through this app. So it's pretty cool to build that. I also helped create a company called Voyager that you guys might have heard of in the crypto space. When I started the company, I was like employee number 4. It didn't exist yet at all, right? Basically, it was just an idea and a dream. Basically, that company went from the 4 of us. We grew it into a company that was worth $3 billion at one point in time on the stock exchange. You could check it out, Voyager. It no longer exists. It kind of got blown up in that whole FTX scandal that just took our company out. But basically went from 0 all the way to $3 billion. Luckily, I sold most of my stock options around the top, so I feel pretty happy about that. But it was very cool to build that out. Right, so I have a lot of experience in the industry, working in different parts of Wall Street and fintech. I'm also managing a few $1 million in investments between my own money and my family's money and friends, right? So I have quite a bit of money that I'm investing for people as well. But it wasn't always like this, right? Years ago in 2008, I blew up my entire investment portfolio. I didn't know what the heck I was doing back then. Basically took all my life savings and flushed them down the toilet. 2008, I think a lot of people lost money, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But basically, I just didn't know how to manage my risk well, and I was really relying on other people for investment advice instead of checking things myself. I didn't have the tools back then. So, really things have come quite far since then, right? Okay, cool. So do you guys want to hear the secrets, right? So we have the 3 secrets to algo trading that I'm going to show you guys today. Do you guys want to hear the secrets, the 3 secrets? All right. Okay, so let's get started with secret number 1. All right. So secret number 1 to algo trading is back testing. All right. So for those of you that don't know what back testing is, it's essentially going back in time and saying, well, if I had followed this strategy for the past year or 2 years or 10 years or 20 years, right? If I had done specifically this thing, bought this, sold this, whatever, what would have happened, right? This is very important because, you could basically run back in time. You can really figure out if this happened over the past 10 years, there's a good chance it's going to happen over the next 10 years, right? So it's a really good way of seeing into the future by way of understanding the past, right? So let me tell you a little story about this, right? So why does back testing matter so much to me, right? And why I think it really should matter to you as well. I think it's a very important thing. If you ever go around the internet, you'll see, back testing is a very important thing whenever you're doing trading. But let me tell you a little story about this, right? So I told you about it was 2008, and I basically lost my life savings in 2008, right? At the time, it wasn't a lot of money. It was around $30,000. That's all I managed to save up when I was in my early 20s. And 2008 came around, and basically I blew everything, right? I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Did some pretty poor decisions back then. But obviously I felt terrible. It took me years to save that money up. But it really gave me the fire that I needed in order to learn how to do this stuff properly, right? So what I did was I applied to my Master's of Finance program at Schulich. Again, it's this Ivy League school in Canada. And I was really determined to learn, right? And really what I learned there, I just like blew my mind. These people were incredibly, incredibly good. Some of the best finance professionals in the world were part of my program. They managed hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars. And they really taught us some pretty amazing stuff. They taught me a new way of looking at investments, right? They basically taught me a very calculated way to investing, using math, using historical data, really strong emphasis on risk management. And I really felt like I learned a crazy amount of stuff that during that experience, and really I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of hours every night. And this was even outside of schoolwork, right? Just creating these big Excel spreadsheets and these big programs, trying to analyze stocks, trying to build like the perfect portfolio, right? So basically, as I was going through Excel, and I say, okay, well, I lost all my money in 2008. What could I have done differently, right? Well, what if I instead of buying this thing, I bought this other thing? And what if I sold this? And what if I took this much margin? And what if I did this? And basically, when I went through this, right, you can in an Excel spreadsheet, it's a lot of work doing this, right? It's very manual, right? But you could see like, okay, if I had started in 2005 and I had invested in this thing and I held it for a year and then I did this other thing, you could really get a good idea of what would have happened, right? This is what back testing basically is. It's like going through in the past and saying, if I had bought this and then bought that, whatever, right? So when I started going through this, I started to understand exactly why I lost my money in 2008. It became super, super obvious, right? Like after I went through all the numbers, it was just like, well, obviously, like if I had done this 100 times over, I would have lost all my money every single time, right? Um, and I started to learn, okay, well, what else could I have done? What if I had done this, and what if I had done these different types of things? And I learned really, how to invest doing that, right? The school taught me a lot. Doing all these different Excel spreadsheets and programs taught me a lot. And once I learned how to do this stuff, and once I applied everything, I learned how to manage my money, and I learned also how to manage my family's money. And holy crap, it paid off a lot, right? Now, this was a time in around 2008, 2009. My father passed away. It was a very sad time in my life and in my family's life. It was a huge shock to all of us. But basically, around the time, I was kind of put responsible for my family's life savings, right? So not only was I managing my own money at this point, but I was managing my family's money too, right? And why they gave it to me when I was in my 20s is kind of crazy if you think about it. You know, their entire life savings. But it made sense. I had a master's in finance. I learned a lot about how to do this stuff. So they gave me this money to manage, right? Basically, I was handed something like 200 grand or $250,000, something like that. And I grew the crap out of it, right? So since 2008, 2009, that money is worth, I think, almost $2 million now. We've grown it quite a bit, right? So again, it's been years now. And first of all, I've made my mom a multimillionaire, right? She gave me this money starting at a grad school. She gave me her life savings at a time. I've been able to make her very, very wealthy. She travels all the time now. She goes to Poland every year for multiple months. She's been retired for quite a long time. For example, I was talking to her recently. She's like, "Yeah, I want to go to Mexico." She's just like, she has the money to pay for her friends to come to Mexico if she wanted to. Like, yeah, I'll just take a couple of my friends with me. I'll pay for them to come or whatever. That's kind of the situation that my mom's gotten into at this point. After I've helped her manage the money for quite some time. Not only investment portfolio at large, but also real estate and other things. I also grew my wife's portfolio quite a bit. My wife, back in the day, she didn't really know what she was doing with investing. When we got married, basically, I took over her portfolio and I made her more money in 2 years than she made in the 10 years her managing her investment portfolio on her own. So I've made my wife quite wealthy as well. And on top of that, myself personally, I own a $4 million company, this company here, Lumi Wealth. So I'm also a multimillionaire as well. My investment portfolio has done quite well. And, it really just came a heck of a long way since 2008, where we blew up and where I lost everything basically. After doing those Excel spreadsheets, after learning those things in school, just really took off and life has been very different. Let me tell you that much. Right. So that's my story. And this is why I really care about backtesting, right? I attribute all of the success that I'm getting in my life right now really from those moments back in the day where I went through these Excel spreadsheets and said, well, what if I invested in this? What if I invested in that? That's exactly what we do today. We've just gotten a lot more sophisticated about it, right? So I can imagine, we made that much money over the past few years. The new tech that we have today, I think we're going to go a hell of a lot more than just a couple $1,000,000, right? I'm hoping to get to the double digit millions at some point soon. So that's kind of where we're at here, right? Okay, so that's secret number one. So back testing is secret number one. If you want anything to help you do better in terms of your investing, start learning how to back test. I bet you that one thing alone will make you a hell of a lot more money than anything else that you've been doing up until now. Learning how to back test, learning how to figure out your investments over time is going to give you this really, really strong ability to see into the future and to make things happen better going forward, right? Yes, that's secret number one. All right, so secret number two, right? And I kind of alluded to this a little while ago, is using existing code and collaboration. right? So you don't need to start from scratch, right? You don't need to be building these back tests from scratch. You don't need to be building strategies from scratch. There's a lot of stuff that we already have, and there's a whole community that we already have that you can use, right? So make sure you use existing code, use collaboration, and that'll give you a huge leg up when you're going through this stuff. So let me tell you a little story about this as well. All right. So let me tell you a story about one of our students. So one of our students, Worth, he came to us something like 3 months ago. I think it's been maybe like 4 months ago now, right? And he has a few strategies that he trades manually, right? So he's been trading these things manually. He's been making some good money off of them. And one of those strategies is this strategy called that we call the UVXY shorting strategy. Basically, it's this ticker symbol UVXY. It's a leveraged VIX index, and he's shorting it. And he makes like really good money doing that, right? And I'll show you actually the back test of this, and it's quite impressive. It makes a lot of money doing this stuff, right? Now, he's been attending our live Algo Hour class, which we do every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing it again tomorrow. So if you guys sign up, you guys can actually join in tomorrow to our live Algo Hour class. And basically, when he was part of his class, we decided that we should build his algorithm, right? We had this conversation. We talk about what should we build today. And basically, he's like, why don't we try doing this thing, this shorting UVXY? So we started building this, we back tested it, and holy crap, we got some really, really good results back testing it, right? We tried it. What would have happened if we had done this over the past 3 years? How much money would we have made? And we got these really crazy results. I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. We should really be doing this, right? So we built out this bot, and Worth has been running this bot for some time, and he's been getting some great results. Just like he's been doing this manually, he made a lot of money doing this manually. Now he's been doing this, first of all, with paper trading, made quite a bit of money with it. And now he's ready to start actually putting real money in and just automating this thing, right? Instead of him doing this manually, he's going to be doing this from automatically, and it's going to be making him a bunch of cash just running this thing, right? And basically it makes sense, right? It's just like the thing that he's been doing, we just automated, right? And we're able to use this thing, right? And now not only can Worth make money off this, right? He came into our class and he basically said, let's build this thing. But now everyone in the group is benefiting from this, right? So if you join this group, you can actually take his code and run this thing, right? You could run this thing and make the same returns that he's making without even knowing how to run the strategy. You could just hit go on the code and it'll actually run for you, and you can make quite a bit of money off this, right? And really, this is like teamwork, right? We have this whole group of people that come in, and everyone has their own ideas around trading. Some people know more than others, right? But a lot of people join in and they have their own strategies that make them money. And when we build that out, now everybody can use them, right? So it's this really big teamwork kind of thing. It's kind of like what they say in the Fast and Furious. It's like family, like if you could picture what's his name, Vin Diesel saying, family, right? That's kind of what it is, right? Like when you join our stuff, that's exactly what it is. You get to use everyone else's strategies, and we're all collaborating and helping each other out, right? And we have a lot more strategies from everyone in the group that we've tested over the past few years, and we're going to be testing over the next few weeks and months, right? We constantly are building new strategies. We're constantly building these things that are making tons of money. We're back testing them, we're running them, and we consistently are coming up with newer and newer strategies that are really doing some really, really amazing things that I'm going to show you in a little bit. And basically the strategies that we have in this class, they're the best of the best strategies, right? We're constantly coming up with all these amazing things that you guys will be able to use. All you got to do is take that code that we've built, copy, paste, run it. You don't have to build this from scratch. This is something that our community has been building over time. And when you join, you're basically going to be a part of that, right? So let me show you a few of these strategies. Okay. So here's that strategy I was talking to you about with Worth, right? This one kind of blew me out of my seat when we first back tested it. All right. So Wendell says, dziękuję. Very cool. Sounds like you're Polish too. Awesome. So this is that UVXY trading strategy. Basically what this does is it takes the symbol UVXY and shorts it based off of Bollinger Bands, right? So if it shoots up too quickly, we short it. If it falls too fast, we get out, right? And basically, it's just doing that all day long, just trading this thing. And when we back tested it, this is what we got. So here's a strategy in the blue line. And then in the yellow is S&P 500, right? So you can see here, the stock market, which by the way, does about 10% a year. If you guys want the easiest way in the world to make money, just put your money into the S&P 500 and walk away. It's 10% a year, pretty much on average for 100 years, right? And it's one of the best things that we know of to make money, or that most people know to make money. And look at how this strategy does compared to that, right? The yellow's S&P, it barely even registers. This thing made from 2021 January 1st, it would have made 708% return, which means 8 times your money, right? So imagine if you put in, let's say $10,000 in 2001 January, and now you have $80,000 in 3 years, basically, right? It's crazy. This thing is growing like nuts. It's 70% a year. And if this thing continues to grow this way, the next year you'd have 160,000, the year after that 300,000, the year after that like over 500,000, right? If this thing continues to grow in the same way that it has up until now, right? The risk on it is a little bit higher. We have a max drawdown that's 50% as opposed to the S&P, which has a max drawdown of around 25% over this time period. So it's a little bit riskier, right? But we have this huge return of 72% a year when we backtest this thing. And ever since Worth has been running it, I know he's been getting similar results as well running this thing. So it's quite an impressive strategy. This is one of the ones that we built in our Tuesday class, and is quite impressive. Right. Let me see here. Wendell says, I know Polish nurses. Very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Wendell. Okay, so that's one of our strategies, a UVXY strategy. Let me show you another one that we built. Again, this is in one of our classes. We built this out. Someone had the idea around this, and we're constantly innovating and trying new strategies. So here's one strategy, one that we call stock leverage with calls. So basically, what this thing does is we take, in this case, 4% of your money, and we invest it into call options. Okay, so basically it takes 4% of the portfolio, right? So say if it's $100,000, it doesn't have to be that much money, right? But just as an example, $100,000, right? Would take 4,000 of it and buy call options on the S&P 500 with that. Actually, on this case, for the NASDAQ, right? So 4% of the money goes into these call options on the NASDAQ, right? And basically it's just buying them every month, right? So it buys them, they expire in a month, and then buys them again, and then buys them again. And that's all it's doing is just rolling them over. Quite simple, right? And the other 96% of the money goes into something that just is very stable and just earns interest. So something like USFR, for example, which is a US floating rate security thing. It pays like 5% a year right now. Very stable, barely moves at all, right? So we have 6% of our money into call options, 4% of our money into call options, 96% of our money into these this super safe thing. And this is what we end up getting, right? So in the blue line is our strategy, right? You can see here it's quite stable compared to the S&P, which is here in the yellow, right? So this is the stock market, the S&P 500 is what it did. Here's our strategy. And as you can see, it's similar to the S&P 500, except it's a lot more stable, right? It doesn't move as much, right? So you can see here that the returns that we get, the annual growth rate, CAGR, right, or the return over the whole time, right, is about the same as S&P 500. So about 90% return since the year 2000 or 2020, right, versus the S&P 500, which did around 77% over that same time period. So it did a little bit better than the stock market. However, if you look at the risk ratio, right, if you're looking at the volatility, or if you're looking at the max drawdown, it's quite a bit safer, right? So it's something that has less risk than S&P 500, but has a very similar return, right? So you take less risk, get more return. That to me sounds like a very nice win, right? Okay, but because this is an algorithm, right, we're able to modify it, right? Like, for example, if you join our course, you could actually take this code, copy and paste it, and use it as is if you wanted to, right? or you could actually modify it, right? You can modify it, back test it, and run it. So this is with 4%, but if we modify it to have 6%, this is very simple. It's right up at the top. Just change the number from 4 to 6. Very simple, and then hit run. That's it, right? If you were to change this number from 4 to 6, this is what you would have gotten over that time period, right? So instead of getting that same return as the stock market, you end up getting quite a bit higher return, right? You get 134% over this time period. So it's almost double what the stock market did. Or in other words, 18% a year versus 11% a year versus stock market, right? So we're getting quite a bit higher returns, right? And the risk is about the same, right? If you're looking at the max drawdown, we have a very similar risk, but we have quite a bit higher returns, almost double the returns for about the same amount of risk as the stock market. Pretty damn good, right? So if you're someone that wants to make some good money, doesn't want to take on too much risk, maybe you can take a look at this, and this might be something that makes sense for you, right? Now, let's say you want to make more money, right? You're like, okay, I want to go, let's go crazy, right? Like let's take some risk. You're someone who doesn't mind risking it, right? But you want to make a bunch of cash if you're a bit younger, right? You could also amp that up to 8%, right? So we go from 4 to 6 now to 8%. This thing now at 8% of your money in calls, what it would have done over this time period is it would have made you 429%. So in other words, if you put in 10 grand, you'd have 50 grand after only 3 years, right? And at the same time, you're having a higher max drawdown. You see there's that big drop here, right? You would have had to deal with a bit of a drop, that's for sure. But if you had stuck around with this, you would have had 5 times your money in only 3 years. It's a very nice return here. Yeah. So you can see that we have this algorithm that we're able to modify, right? So not only do you get an algorithm that works out of the box, but you can also modify it. You could change these little parameters. You can say, okay, well, what if we did 4%? What if we did this? You can modify it. You can get even better results and make this thing customized for you, right? Depending on what kind of risks you're willing to take and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, so that's another algorithm. Let me show you another one. Okay? So here's another algorithm that we built during this class. Okay? This is our Congress trading algorithm. And again, if you guys want the code to this, you can sign up to our classes. You can get this code, right? And basically, this is in the blue, the strategy, right? And in the yellow is the S&P 500, right? As you can see here, this thing's making 21% a year, right? This one, I couldn't go back as far because we don't have the data for that. But going back as far as we could to about June 2021, so something like 2 years ago, right? This thing's done 21% a year, or about doubled its money in 2 years. It's quite nice, with no leverage, right? All this is doing is just buying stocks that members of Congress are buying, right? So by members of Congress, I mean like Nancy Pelosi, I mean Mitt Romney, I mean, name all these politicians, right? They're sitting there in the government, and these guys have a really strong advantage, right? So think about how big of an advantage you have to picking stocks when you're in the US Senate or the House, right? Not only do you get insider information, right? Because let's say Microsoft is coming out with a new product or whatever, they're going to come to you first, tell you about it first because they want regulatory approval. So you're going to know that they're coming up with some new stuff. So you have this insider information. But on top of that, you also have the ability to pass laws and change these companies' futures, right? Like you can actually pass a law to make Microsoft more successful if you wanted to. You can pass a law, especially if it's like a smaller company, you could pass a law to make, their new product get approved. You can be a kingmaker, basically, right? It's crazy. Like these members of Congress have a huge, huge advantage to picking stocks, right? Both from an information perspective, but also from them being able to influence their futures, right? So when you're investing in this, basically what we do is we look at all the trades of members of Congress. So you can actually find, there's websites you can find this on too. And basically we count how many times each stock was bought, right? So let's say Mitt Romney bought Microsoft, Nancy Pelosi bought Microsoft, and then maybe 2 more of them bought Microsoft. That gives us a trading signal that says, oh, we should buy this stuff now, right? So we should buy Microsoft too, because everyone in Congress is buying it. So let's also buy it. So now we hold on to that and we hold it for 45 days up until or at least if up until no one else is buying it, right? If more members of Congress buy it, then we hold it for even longer than 45 days. Okay, so these are the results that we got. 21% a year over this time period. So doubled your money over 2 years. Okay, and a max drawdown that's quite a bit better. So we actually have a lower risk and a higher return than S&P 500. So a very nice strategy as well, right? Kimball says, so there's a question here from Kimball. How do you learn what stocks Congress is buying? So basically it looks like this, right? There's APIs you can get this, right? Congress trades. You could do this manually if you wanted to, but it would be a huge pain to do this manually. There's websites like this. If you go to Capital Trades, for example, they log. This is legally, every member of Congress has to post this, right? So basically all we need to do is just take this. The SEC has to post it, right? Like they legally have to do this. So we basically take what they did there and we will copy what they're doing, right? So here is, for example, all of what members of Congress have bought over the past few days, okay? You can see that Greg Stanton bought Teledyne Technologies on October 24th. You can see that Josh bought Adyen, actually know the founder of that company, Adyen, on October 16th. Josh also bought Alamo Group on the 27th, right? You could basically go through and count a bunch of them. And you could say, in the past 45 days, you want to have like a tally, right? It's basically like a tally, right? So here, Teledyne, there's one person who bought Teledyne, one person who bought Adyen, one person who bought Alamo, right? And then, okay, now there's two purchases for Google here, right? So we'll count that. Actually, these are sales. Let's say they're purchases. You count those as two, right? Now there's one purchase for Apple. And when we go through this, we add all of them up and we say which one had at least 4 purchases in the past 4 days. And that's what we're going to end up buying. So we actually have trading signals now. Right? So if you guys are interested, you can, when you join our stuff, you actually get trading signals. And here is, for example, this Congress trading bot. It's been trading live for a while. This is how it's been doing, right? And right now it's saying for us to buy HTGC. That's a symbol that it's recommending for us to buy, right? Because more than 4 members of Congress have bought it recently. So we're going to buy that, and you'll see basically how this thing performs quite well. I'm willing to bet this stock does very, very well over the next few weeks. So if you guys want to take a note of this, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to buy anything. But I bet you this stock does very well over the next few months just because all these members of Congress are buying it. And I bet you they know a heck of a lot better than what we're doing. They're either going to pass a law to make it do better, or they know something that we don't know, right? So HTGC, check it out, keep a track of it, right? That's basically what our algorithm is telling us to buy right now, right? By the way, if you join, you also get access to this. You get access to these signals, so you don't even have to run any code. We just tell you this is what it's doing, right? Okay, registered but never go Zoom link. Says, so Rob, sorry, I missed what you said earlier with the 4% example. Did you sell or roll over the calls every month or begin or before expiration? So, so there's a question here basically asking about the last algorithm, right? So this last algorithm, this 4% or 6% or 8%, what this thing is doing is it puts so in this case, 92% of your money into a very safe asset, and then takes 8% and buys calls that expire in a month, right? So say right now it's November 13th. I would buy the call that expires in December, right? Probably something like December 18th or something like that. I'll buy that call option and I will hold it right up until expiry date and then buy the next one next time around, right? So I'm basically buying a month out and I'm holding till expiry and then buying the next one, right? That's basically what this thing is doing. So in many ways, if you're wondering about this thing, where we got the idea for this strategy from was from banks. They actually have these market linked GIC notes, and this is basically how they create them. So the way that you get these market linked GIC notes is basically they'll put most of your money into a fixed income asset, kind of like what we do, and then put a small percentage of it into a call option on the S&P 500 or NASDAQ or whatever. So if it tends to, if it shoots up a lot, you make quite a bit of money on top of that, right? So we're kind of copying what banks are doing, except we're able to be a lot more flexible about it. All right. Okay. So I showed you guys a few strategies here. I showed you a Congress strategy. Let me show you one more. Excuse me, my voice is going a little bit. Okay, so here's another strategy. This is one that we made very recently as well. This is a really cool one. This is an options straddle strategy. Basically, all you do, very, very simple, okay? If you know options trading, is you sell a put and a call once a month, right? At the money, right? So you sell a call and a put that expires in a month from now, and you hold it for a month. And when it expires, you buy the next one. You're just rolling it just like you are with a call option. In this case, you're selling a put and you're selling a call, okay? And this is what we end up getting. Okay, this is actually, I was hoping to show you guys, I didn't have a chance to do this in time. I was running this. This could actually do a lot better, right? In this case, you see, first of all, in the blue, there's our strategy. In the yellow is the S&P 500. You can see, first of all, we smoked it, did a heck of a lot better than it, right? We almost doubled our money. We got 98% versus the S&P, which only did 31% over the same time period, or 13% a year and 5% a year. So we got, quite a bit better than the S&P 500. However, this is only using a small chunk of your money. I was actually like really investing in this, you'd be making something more like 30% a year, or you would have made something more like 35% a year using this strategy with quite nice risk fundamentals as well. Right. So what's amazing here is making 13% a year when the S&P is getting killed. So even it's crazy is that the S&P is down and this thing is still up. Look at this, the stock market was falling and this thing was going up. You were making money when the stock market was falling. That's freaking amazing, right? Because what that means is you could combine strategies. For those of you that know finance well, you could actually combine the strategy with one that's has a high beta, right? And because this has a negative correlation with the stock market. So you could actually really bring down your risk profile quite a bit with this. You can make a lot of money doing this sort of thing. It's a very, very interesting strategy. I feel like this picture doesn't do it justice. It's only 13% a year here. If you had actually invested with this, how you probably would have wanted to with all the cash in your account, this would be more like 30% a year rather than 13. Like would have been even crazier, right? And again, uncorrelated with the stock market, go in the opposite direction of the stock market. So even when the stock market goes down, you're still making money. It's friggin' amazing. Look at this. During COVID, it got slammed. The S&P got slammed, and we made money during COVID. Here during the bear market, most recently, the stock market was going down. This thing was going up. Holy crap. It's amazing. Very, very cool strategy. And again, if you guys want to use this, here it is. This is a strategy, right? You could basically get this strategy. You get the code, you copy paste it, you run it. You could even change it if you wanted to, how many options you want to buy, what symbol you want to trade. It's very easy to just change this right here, right? Changes from 30 to 20 to 10 to 50, however many you want to buy. If you want to trade a different symbol, you can put it in here. Very easy, copy, paste, run it, and that's it, right? You can make quite a bit of money doing this stuff yourself, right? Wendell asks, do you have 3 main strategies? So Wendell, my own money invested in. However, what I would like to do and what I'm working on is I want to invest in maybe 10 or 20 strategies at a time. That's my goal. So our goal is to actually start a hedge fund where we're going to be running money for quite a few different people. I'm hoping to raise, we're actually talking about a hedge fund or an ETF, right? If we release an ETF, we want to raise like 30 to $50 million and actually start managing money for people that way, right? And if I were to run this kind of thing for everybody, what I would run more than one strategy at a time, right? You could run one strategy, you can make good money off it. But if you're running 4 or 5, these big hedge funds, what they do is they run 100 strategies at a time. And they end up, one of them makes 50% a year. The other one makes 100% a year. The other one makes, 200% a year, whatever, right? And the thing is that they're not all going to be perfect, right? Some years, some do better than others, right? But if you're invested in, 10 or 20 different algorithms, when one does well, the other one doesn't, and another one doesn't do well, another one does. So they kind of even each other out, and you end up getting really high investment returns with very low risk. That's how someone like a Ray Dalio, or better yet, someone like Jim Simmons, if you guys have ever heard of him, this guy makes 67% a year, crazy money, 67% a year, every year, with very, very low risk, right? This thing is like consistently 67% a year, right? If you do the math on that with compound interest, you'll very quickly understand why Jim Simmons is one of the richest people on earth. This is basically what he does, right? Maria says, can you use only options? This strategy is options, right? We have a bunch of different stuff, right? We have, this one is trading stocks. This one is trading options. This one is trading stocks. This one's trading options. We have a bunch of, we have so many different algorithms. Like if you look through the ones here, check out all these different ones we have. We have crypto for Bollinger Bands. We have custom ETF for crypto. We have a whole bunch of different stock algorithms. Look at how many different stock algorithms we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a ton of them. We have, you know, it really depends on kind of your worldview and what your risk tolerance is, right? But again, for me, it's like I run a bunch of these at a time. My goal is to get things set up so I could run 10 or 20 at a time, and you know, have a bunch like this, right? They're each making 30 or 40% each. They're all kind of high risk, but they all balance each other out. So I'm making 30 or 40% a year with very low risk. That's kind of what I'm working on, right? And how we plan on running our hedge fund or our ETF when we launch it, right? But anyways, those are just a few examples of strategies. As I mentioned, we have so many more. If you join our programs, not only do you get, I think we're at like 100 strategies now between all of them. You'll get access to all of those. Again, you can just copy paste them. You don't need to know how to code. Forget learning how to code. You can just take that code, run it. That's it, and you can, you know, be on your merry way. You know, or you could learn how to modify it if you want to. But then also we're adding new algorithms every week. Every single week we're inventing a new thing, right? We have some very, very smart people in our programs. If you join any of these things, you'll see these really smart people just constantly coming up with new ideas. And this is where all this stuff comes from. Every week, I feel like I have some crazy new thing that we're working on. It's really amazing. So if you guys want to join, you get access to all of that. Douglas says, is there a set and forget algo for Forex? We have a few algorithms for Forex. We concentrate, to be honest with you, more on stocks and options and crypto, just because the odds of success are much higher. I know a lot of people like Forex. And you know what? If you join our classes, you could actually help us build more of those, right? Because I'd be very interested in building more Forex algorithms. I just, you know, it's just easier to make money in options and stocks and crypto. Like there's so many different ways to make money doing that stuff. Forex, I find to be one of the harder markets to make money. And building out some cool Forex algorithms. So thank you for that question, Douglas. So if you want to join, by the way, and you have an idea for one, we could actually build it out, you know? Maria says, can you use one for scalping? Yeah, we have scalping algorithms. We have ones that basically will work off Bollinger Bands and will scalp, doing that sort of thing. Yes, you could definitely do scalping with trading algorithms. It's actually quite easy to do that. We have quite a actually show you a few algorithms. They can copy and actually use those. Right? Misha says, I was going to ask that. Yeah, very cool. Scalping is a very popular thing. We have quite a few of them that do that. We have swing trading, we have scalping, we have breakout strategies, we have swing trading, we have option strategies. We have like a million different things. There's so much stuff. So I bet you anything that you're interested in, we probably have as part of our library. We have a lot of stuff in there. Kimball asks, for your strategies, are they day trading or is it buy and hold? We have a mix, right? So there's a bunch of algorithms that we have that day trade. We have a bunch of algorithms that trade much less often. I find that generally it's easier to make money if you're not trading too often, because when you trade very often, you have to deal with all the fees, right? So if you're trading, you know, 100 times a day, you better make sure that you're making good decisions, right? But if you are making good decisions, you could make quite a bit of money as well, right? But it's I think it's just a little bit harder because you have to deal with all the fees, right? Then we also have other algorithms that trade, you know, once a week or trade once a month, right? And they're just looking for the perfect opportunity and will buy it. Like a Congress trading bot maybe buys like once a month, right? Like once a month they'll buy something, right? But when it does buy something, it is freaking gold. Like for example, the one here, you know, HTGC. I'd be very interested to see what happened to that stock. But yeah, so to answer Kimball, we have a mixture of everything. We have day trading. We have ones that trade once a week, once a day, once a month. Like we have a whole spectrum of different things. Yeah. Podam, let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Podam, I think. What about day trading of Forex on MetaTrader 4 or 5? Perfect, thank you. We don't currently work with MetaTrader 4 or 5, not yet, although we have plans to work with a lot of the brokers on there, like FXCM is a broker that we're planning on working with soon. I'm assuming, yeah, so Wendell actually asked it, do you have any members who have accounts at prop firms? That's literally what I was about to talk about, so you read my mind, Wendell. We do have people that work with prop firms. You have to get things set up. Like if you go through Interactive Brokers, you have a prop firm that works through that, right? We have a couple brokers that we work with, Interactive Brokers, a bunch of crypto brokers we work with, like Binance and Coinbase and Kraken. We work with Alpaca. So if any of those prop firms, if they link up to those brokers, then we can work with them. Also, right now, one of our main pushes that we're doing is adding in more brokers. Let me know if you guys are interested in any of them, right? We're planning on adding in Schwab is another one we're adding soon. We're going to be adding in FXCM is another one. Tradier is another one. We're also talking about TradeStation. So quite a few things that we're working on. So Potom says yes. So the question is, do we have a broker that trades Forex? Yes, we do. Interactive Brokers is able to trade Forex. So if you want to trade Forex, you can absolutely do that with our algorithms. Yes. Right. And you can link that up to MetaTrader as well. Right. If you search YouTube, there's a way to link Interactive Brokers to MetaTrader if you want to do that. Right. So if you want to use a prop firm, then you can do that. Kimmel says, did I see? So we're planning on working with TradeStation soon too. Yes, that's one of the brokers that we're working on integrating with. Yeah, cool. Thank you guys. Sounds like a lot of you guys are interested in Forex and prop trading. That's very cool. We're absolutely able to do that sort of thing, and we're adding in more and more brokers to do that as well. Yeah. Very. All right, cool. So I showed you a couple strategies. The secret number 2 is use existing code, right? That's secret number 2. Use existing code and collaboration, all the stuff that we have. You could just use our strategies right off the box. Let me tell you secret number 3. All right, so here's secret number 3. And secret number 3 is there are some really amazing AI tools available these days. And sorry, let me switch my internet connection. You could actually check this out. One of the people in our community, for example, this guy Adam, he's been part of our community for a while. He's been trading crypto and making a crap load of money doing this stuff. So if you want to join our community, for example, he bought this thing called Grok. He told us about it about 2 or 3 days ago, right? Basically, he's been talking about this for a few days. It's going crazy. He made 33% on it in like a day, and then since then it like doubled again. I think this guy tripled his money on this thing in like the past 2 days. And he's an American citizen, and he's able to trade crypto as well. So absolutely, I wouldn't say that the US government is blocking crypto. There's definitely a lot of crypto that you can trade as well. Here's a very good example of it. This guy literally, I think, tripled his money. He's been part of our community for a while. I know last time I spoke to him, I think the last crypto boom, I think he made like $150,000 trading in a year. I wouldn't be surprised if he does a heck of a lot better than that this time around, right? Because he's been quite seasoned in this. But yeah, I wouldn't say that crypto is blocked by the SEC. There's a lot they can still do right now with crypto. Potom says, so do you have a separate trading class for Forex? They can give a link. We don't have a class that's specific to Forex, right? We have a class that teaches about algo trading in general. We have classes on like crypto and options. We don't have one specific to Forex just yet. But you could use a lot of stuff they use in our algo trading class to apply to Forex. It's actually quite easy to apply it. Like it doesn't make much of a difference. Like whether you're trading stocks or Forex, it's the same thing, right? It's just a different asset, but everything else still applies. You're still using the same techniques to analyze and all that. So I wouldn't put like Forex to be like this wildly different thing. It's basically everything that we use for stocks or crypto, you can use for Forex too, right? It's a very similar kind of market, and you know, you just make very small adjustments to the code. All right, okay, cool, great questions, guys. Sounds like a lot of interest in Forex. Makes me want to show you guys more Forex algorithms next time. I'll have that prepared too. I'll show you guys a few of our Forex algorithms because it sounds like you guys are very interested in that too. We're actually planning on also working with a few prop firms. I want to reach out to a few prop firms and have them like be partners with us officially, because we're building all these crazy algorithms and things that make a lot of money. And I'd love to make it so that if our students build something, we directly send to a prop firm and they get funded and all that kind of thing. That's kind of the next steps of what I want to do too, right? Because if you join our classes, you pay some money to learn how to do this stuff. You can turn around and make a bunch of money with one of our partners, right? That's kind of the idea. That's very cool. Maria says, you say something about the classes. I said a bunch of things about the classes, Maria. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you have a specific question, let me know, Maria. Cool. Okay, so secret number 3. So secret number 3 is using AI tools, right? So AI tools can really do some quite amazing things. These days, you don't really need to be much of a programmer to do a lot of really cool advanced stuff. And let me tell you a little story here, right? So let me show you a story about someone who joined our class a while ago. So Latoya, basically, she joined LumiWealth something like 8 months ago, right? And when she joined, she had 0 programming experience. In fact, she worked as a pharmacist and really never used computers that much before her life. She wasn't much of a computer person at all, right? 0 programming experience, worked as a pharmacist, very different profession, right? And she joined our classes and basically learned all the stuff that we taught her in the class. And we taught her how to effectively use a lot of AI tools, right? We showed her how to use ChatGPT, not just the basics of it. Like there's a lot of details. I'll show you a few things on how to apply it to coding. There's some techniques they can use. We taught her how to use something called GitHub Copilot, which is built in to some programming software and shows you how to code really well, right? We showed her use these AI tools. And we basically taught her how to use these things to generate code from scratch, how to use it to explain and modify code, how to help with error messages, and all these different types of things, right? So we showed her how to use these AI tools. She came to us, no programming experience. We taught her how to use these AI tools, right? And after she went through these classes, she was able to build this really, really complicated bot. It was crazy. The first time I saw it, I was like, holy crap, you built this. This is a girl that never knew how to code. And all of a sudden I'm looking at like 1,000 lines of code and like this really complex logic. I'm like, holy shit, amazing what she built. Basically, she built a bot that, and you guys have probably seen this. You've seen the ads for this, I'm sure. It's people that sell trading signals, right? There's all these like Discord channels or Telegram channels where you can pay money, or some of them are free, some of them you have to pay money for. And basically they'll give you signals, right? Okay, today is buy Apple, today buy this Forex or whatever, right? And when you go through his channels, some of them are good, some of them will make you quite a bit of money, and some of them are just really bad ideas, right? So when she built this bot, basically what she was able to do is, first of all, if she wanted to automate it, she could do it, right? So she doesn't have to listen to this all the time. It could like automatically buy what the Discord channel is saying. So if they said buy a call option on Apple at yada yada price, right? Then the bot could actually go off and just purchase that. She doesn't have to be glued to her computer; it just automatically does it, right? So that's first of all, is they could do that. But second of all, it was also able to figure out which channels were good and made money and which ones were full of crap, right? Because a lot of them, as I'm sure you know, are full of crap, right? So the way that she was able to do that is because of these bots, right? She was able to use software to download everything that they ever did, and then basically ran it through her software and said, okay, this channel is really good at picking stocks. These guys make a lot of money. These guys, not so much. They're kind of full of crap. So she was able to, first of all, figure out which ones were good to listen to, and then second of all, be able to automate it automatically, right? So really amazing bot. She's able to do this. Last I heard, she's making some good money trading this stuff. And on top of that, not only did she build this bot after our program, but she also gained these new programming skills. And after she did that, she's able to get this really high paying job. I think she like doubled her salary, right? She went to go work in like this corporate environment, basically using her programming skills, which she learned like just 3 or 4 months ago, and basically applied that to this new job, and she was able to double her salary, right? So not only did she build a great bot that was making her money, but on top of that, she was able to really do well with her career with this as well, right? So very cool stuff. Latoya did some pretty amazing stuff. And I'm going to play you a video by her in a few minutes where you could actually hear her talking about this stuff from her own mouth, right? But before we do that, let me give you a few tips for how to use AI with programming, right? So if you guys want to learn how to apply artificial intelligence to the world of programming, here's a few tips for you guys, right? So tip number one, start with existing code. A lot of people think that they can go into ChatGPT and just tell it, build me a trading algorithm. That's not going to work, okay? Trust me, I've tried to do a million times, and a lot of our students have tried to do it. It's going to give you back gibberish, right? So don't go to ChatGPT and tell it, build a trading algorithm for me. Instead, what makes a lot more sense is give it existing code, okay? You could take one of our algorithms. We have a bunch of ones that you could take existing code, give it to ChatGPT, and tell it to modify it, right? So here's the basics of how an algorithm works. Take this, modify it to do this, this, and this, okay? You're going to get a lot better results doing that than telling it to code from scratch. ChatGPT is good. It's not that good yet, right? So that's one really good way that you can get around all this stuff, right? Okay, that's suggestion number one. Tip number two, right, is if you don't understand what the code does, then you can copy and paste this code into ChatGPT and ask it to explain it to you, right? So you could take one of our bots, for example, you could give it a ChatGPT and say, like, what the heck is this thing doing? And it can read through the code and explain to you, like, this is what it's doing. It does, first it does this and it does this, blah, blah, right? But on top of that, you could also ask it to put in something called code comments, which basically will be sitting on top of the code and say, this line of code does this. This line of code does this. So you can read it like English going through the code. So you can have a really good understanding of what this code is doing. And if you want to modify it, it makes it very easy for you to modify it, right? So you don't necessarily have to be a coder. You could really just read the plain English and you can even modify it that way, right? Okay, so tip number one, start with existing code. Tip number two, if you don't know what the code does, ask ChatGPT to explain it to you, right? Tip number three, and this is super important, everyone that works for me, I make sure that they have this installed, something called GitHub Copilot, okay? And basically GitHub Copilot is something that's built into your coding environment and will actually write code for you as you're going through it. It's very cool. Honestly, these days, I feel like I don't really code anymore. I basically just am constantly talking to the AI and I'm telling it to do this and do that. And I swear to you, I can go 3 times faster coding than when I was younger. Before AI, I could do the job of probably like 10 people with AI. It's crazy, right? It makes a very, very big difference. So installing GitHub Copilot, make sure you do that. It comes built into VS Code. It makes it very easy to install it, right? So if you're going to be doing that stuff, make sure you install GitHub Copilot if you're going to be coding. Right? Number four, tip number four, if you ever get errors, which I'm sure you'll get a lot when you're coding, okay, is copy paste the error into ChatGPT, right? So a lot of people, they'll code and they'll get an error. It's like, oh, this thing's not working, and there's red text. It's like, oh, what the heck's going on, right? A lot of times people will take that and Google it, and it will take such a long time to figure out on Google. It's like, what are you talking about? Whatever. What's really easy is just take that error message, copy paste the whole thing, and just stick it into ChatGPT, and it will explain to you what it does, right? It's like, it'll explain to you what the problem is, right? So it's like, oh, well, you just need to change this thing, or maybe you need to add a dot here, or maybe you have a space when you shouldn't have a space. It can tell you that kind of stuff. Or on top of that, if you can't figure out what it means, you could even take your code, put it into ChatGPT too, and it will fix your code for you, right? So like these days you really don't need to know how to code that much, because a lot of these AI tools can do it for you. It's really amazing what they can do for you. Yeah. So those are some tips on it. And number 5 is check out our course recordings, right? You watch our course recordings. We have a lot of examples of using AI tools, and you can get started that way, right? So if you want to get really good at this AI stuff, check out these 5 tips and put them to use. So let me know what you're able to build with your newfound knowledge, right? Hopefully that helps you along with your coding journeys. Okay, cool. So I've kind of been alluding to this the whole time, right? We have a bunch of courses that you guys can be a part of it. We have a huge community and a lot of things that we're doing. One of our main courses is called the All Access Plan. Are you guys interested to know what you're going to get in the All Access Plan? Do you want to know what's included in this, right? And what you actually get out of it? So I got a question here. So Flange says, most of your stuff went over my head. I have 20K. How do I make money with you? Definitely would like to beat the S&P 500. So Flange, so very simple. You could just take our algorithms and just copy paste them, right? If you join our classes, check out our all access plan. I'm going to show you how to actually do that. And a lot of people here saying yes is fantastic. Very cool. So let me tell you about our all access plan and how you can actually learn how to do this stuff, learn how to run your own algorithms and get going with this stuff. Okay. Here's what you get. I'm actually going to add 2 more things here. We have trading signals, right? And we also have our weekly tutoring, where we keep making this plan a lot better. These are 2 new features that we just added in. So I haven't had a chance to update our presentation even, but these are 2 new features that you're going to get as well inside of our all access plan. So basically, when you join our all access plan, which is one of our plans that you can be a part of, right, is you're going to get access to our algorithmic trading course, which will teach you how to do all this stuff. We'll show you how to build your own algorithms, how to take the ones that we have, run them, all that kind of stuff. You'll learn that in the Algo Trading course. You also get our AI for Trading course, which will teach you how to apply artificial intelligence to trading, right? Using machine learning and that type of stuff. We also have an options trading class that will show you how to create your own options trading algorithms as well. So if you want to learn how to do this options trading stuff specifically, you'll learn how to do that. There's a lot of details to that too. We also have a crypto trading class. I'll teach you how to do that. We have 2 classes on blockchain and Web3 development. So if you guys are into like creating your own crypto coins or creating your own like Web3 type stuff, you can learn how to do that in our courses as well. We also have something called Live Algo Hour, which is a freaking amazing course. We've had a ton of people very, very excited about this recently. We've gotten really good feedback about it. Basically, we meet every Tuesday and we're inventing new algorithms every Tuesday. It's like this innovation lab. It's really, really cool. You also get one-on-one support as part of the All Access plan. So if you need help setting anything up, we can help you out. So it would either be myself or one of my staff that can help you out. And on top of that, these are 2 new things. As I mentioned, you're going to get trading signals, which I was showing you here, right? We have 3 algorithms right now running in our trading signals. We're going to be adding more. Here's our Congress trading bot. You can basically just follow us on Discord. You get a notification saying this is what it's doing. Here's our crypto B bands, right? This is how it's been doing. Actually, this one's up, 4% in the past 7 days, doing quite well. So our diversified leverage bot, this one's brand new, but already made some money. Started at 100K, made $300 already. So you could basically just follow these things, and that's part of the plan as well. All right. And then we also are doing a new thing called weekly tutoring sessions, where basically every Wednesday, you guys will be able to join in. And if you have any trouble with anything, if you want to build an algorithm, if you want help, like let's say I have this idea, we can like build it out, right? It's a really cool new feature that's going to be part of the all access plan as well. Right. So some very cool stuff coming down, right? So we keep making this better and better, right? Okay, so I see a couple questions in here. So Flange says, where do I start? I've never traded, don't know any trading platforms. So Phalange, what I would recommend is that you join our all access plan and you start with our algo trading class. We have a lot of support where we can help you with this. We can get on one-on-one calls. We always start off with kickoff calls with every one of our students. So I can show you where to get started, how to set everything up. We have workshops that we run on a regular basis as well. where you guys will learn how to set things up. So you get to join these workshops or live, right? We'll show you how to do that. And basically join our classes, right? We'll show you how to actually build all this stuff out. Douglas says, can you send a sign up link, please? I have to go. So Douglas, if you go to lumiwealth.com, right? Lumiwealth.com, and then check out our all access plan. Right. So Douglas, if you go there, check out our all access plan. That's where you can get it. Right. Kimberly says, how in depth is a blockchain development course? It goes quite in depth. It will show you how to basically build your own crypto coins. It shows you how to build a few other like small projects like that. There's a few projects that it runs through. And you'll basically learn how to use Solidity to create these things. It's very, very cool. And then the Web3 course takes it even further, where you learn how to apply that and like build a website out of all that. It's very, very cool stuff. So Kimberly, it is quite in depth. You'll learn a lot of stuff there. It's like you learn how to code this stuff. It's not just like surface level things. So it does get pretty deep. Azuka says, sorry if you said this already, what platforms are we used for trading? So right now we use Interactive Brokers. We use Alpaca. We use a bunch of the crypto brokers like Kraken and Binance and Coinbase. We're going to be adding in soon. We're adding a bunch of new ones. We're going to be adding in Schwab very soon. We're going to be adding in TradeStation. We're going to be adding in Tradier, and we're going to be adding in FXCM, right? If you have the question of like, do these work with MetaTrader? MetaTrader is not a broker. We work with the brokers that work with MetaTrader. So if you want to use MetaTrader, you can connect it to Interactive Brokers, for example, right? We work directly with the brokers. We don't go through MetaTrader because it's not a broker. It's a platform. Right. So we work with the brokers that work with MetaTrader if you're interested in that. Right. Okay. So a bunch of them. So we work with quite a few. And actually right now, one of our biggest pushes is adding in more brokers. Right. Lasonda says, what are the cost of classes? We will get to that in a second, Lasonda. I'll show you that very shortly. Right. And then Douglas says, thank you. Good luck, everyone. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. So Douglas, I guess I'll see you in the class. Right. Cool. Okay. So this is our all access plan, right? We have all these things as part of our access plan. So in other words, you're going to learn to be able to, you'll be able to, after this class, you'll be able to analyze your own investments using data, right? So we're very data heavy in this, right? Instead of doing things from scratch, basically, sorry, this is, I need to disable this for you guys. There we go. Thank you for deleting that. Okay, so when you go through this, you're going to learn how to analyze your investments using data, right? So we're not doing this stuff just off a whim and oh, you should do this, whatever. Everything is very analytical in nature. So we have a very rigid way, a very specific way of trading this stuff, right? So you're going to be able to have a lot better insights into what you're doing, right? You're going to learn how to build algorithms that automatically place trades for you. So building trading algorithms that automatically trade for you, you'll learn how to do that. You'll get an in-depth understanding of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. We have some great classes on that. You also learn the fundamentals of artificial intelligence and how to apply it to trading and a lot more. And you'll also be able to get rid of a few things, right? You'll be able to get rid of expensive mistakes that can cost you your life savings or worse, right? I've seen some horror stories here of people making some very, very silly mistakes. If you had simply ran these things through data, if you had looked at the data for it, you would have known it's a terrible decision, right? So we're going to help you avoid these expensive mistakes that's going to cost your life savings, right? We're going to help you get rid of searching YouTube for days, trying to figure out how to get started with this stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there on YouTube, some of it good, some of it bad, definitely not very well organized. So if you guys want to try to learn this stuff from YouTube, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder. So we're going to save you from all that effort, right? We're also going to save you from getting scammed by people that sell you fake strategies and are trying to steal your money, right? I've seen a lot of people, and this to me is heartbreaking. A lot of people come to me and say, you know, Rob, I met some guy on the internet and I gave him a bunch of money and then he ran away and, you know, now I can't get my money back. And I hear this way too often. That's why our classes, we do not take your money. I don't want your money. Don't give it to me. Okay. You can pay us for our classes. We'll teach you how to do this stuff. But as far as your own investments, you're going to run this yourself. You're going to open up a brokerage account. You're going to put your money with that broker, right? And you're going to run this code on that broker. Okay. I don't want your money. This is, very far from that sort of thing where, here, give me your life savings and, disappear. So you're going to be able to avoid that sort of thing because you're going to be able to run your own algorithms. You're going to have the ability to run these things yourself. You're not going to have to rely on someone else to do this for you, right? So Wendell says, what is the average time from joining to using your own algo to trade? I realize you could use your library of code to trade with. Wendell, we have a workshop that when you run, it takes about an hour to get through to get all set up and run your first algorithm. So you should be able to get that up and running. Actually, sorry, it's an hour to run it yourself and back test it and all that. If you want to just start running your first algorithm, you could probably get that up in half an hour, right? Go through our workshop. I'll show you where to go once you do this. You go through a workshop. Basically, what I do is it takes you actually more time to open up the brokerage account. We'll show you how to use Replit to run that, and then copy paste the code. You can run it in half an hour. You'll have your first trades running, right? So it's actually quite quick to get started. It's a good question, Wendell. Thank you. Okay, cool. So to kind of come back to this too, we're going to save you a lot of time and money through this program as well, right? So for me, this is what it took to create all this stuff for you. It took me a long time and a lot of money to build this thing for you. So first of all, we had this technology called LumiBot that took us now 4 years, more than 4 years now. We've been working on this thing. I spent over $100,000 on developers building this thing out. We've created this technology just for you so you can start running with this. We spent over 500 hours creating our core class, Algorithmic Trading. We perfected this thing over time. I've ran this course so many times and just really gotten it very, very good. So you guys are getting the perfected version of this class, right? You're also going to get, we spent over 1,000 hours and over $200,000 creating the rest of the classes. So like our AI class, our blockchain class, we invested a lot into that, and you guys can get that as part of our program. I spent also over 1,000 hours creating and testing all the algorithms that you get with classes. Like I said, we have a library of like 100 different algorithms. We spent thousands of hours building these things, and you guys can get that as part of the program. And also we spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars building our community, right? We have a lot of people, as I keep going back here to our Discord community. It's very lively. You can meet other people in our community. You can see what they're trading, what they've been up to, how they've been making money, how the algorithms are working for them, right? And you can really get to know a lot of people in the community as well. So you get a lot of value out of that too, right? And let me answer some questions, some chats here. Wendell says, not months. Wow. Yeah, Wendell, we've made this very easy, right? So if you want to get started with your first algorithm, seriously, half an hour and you'll get up and running, right? If you want to like learn how to code and all that, that's going to take you a lot longer, right? But you really don't need to learn how to code, right? Like you just need to learn how to open up an account with a broker, how to open up Replit, and how to copy paste code and fill in your API details. And that's it, right? And you run your first thing. And if you want to run other ones, it's all about just swapping out that code, right? Like you can get started with this, like I said, half an hour to an hour, right? If you get stuck along the way, we help you out with it. We have a lot of one-on-one support. We have tutoring classes every week. So, you can get through this quite quickly, right? So absolutely. So it's funny that you're surprised because you're right. Because it used to take a few months. It used to take a long time. We've made it a lot easier now, right? So Flynn says, there's a question here. I'm a true novice who has lost a lot of money in cryptocurrency trading. I need help step-by-step instructions to trade to recover at least some of my losses. Do you provide these instructions? Yeah, I mean, you can take our algorithms and you could run our algorithms phalange. I don't know what you were doing with cryptocurrencies to lose your money. My guess is you probably got in at the top of the market, which a lot of people do. We're not financial advisors, so I'm not going to go and tell you what to invest in because that's illegal by the US government. But we do have a bunch of algorithms that you can use, and you could see, and this is how they performed, and this is what you can probably expect going forward, right? Whereas I bet you what you were doing with cryptocurrencies is you're probably just buying what other people are saying to buy, right? Which is again trading on emotion, right? Which is exactly what we try to avoid, right? Instead, we're trading based off of data. We're trading based off of historical results. right? And that's how we're making our trading decisions rather than, someone's telling us to invest in this coin or that coin, right? There's a lot of better ways to do this, right? Azuka says, do you actually help with the initial setup? Yes, we do. We run workshops once a month. We have tutoring classes once a week. You also get one-on-one support if you need to do that. So you can jump on a call with either myself or someone else from my team. So there's lots and lots of ways that we help you with the setup and going forward with modifying it if you want to do that as well. So you get lots and lots of support. Absolutely. It's a good question. Thank you. And Flange says, how soon will I be trading as a novice with zero trading experience and knowledge? So how do you get started, Flange? Sign up to our all access plan. We'll get a kickoff call going with you. We'll get you set up, go through our workshop, and you should be able to start your first trading algorithm in 30 minutes. Like I said, you can get started very, very quickly, right? So this is not something that's going to take you months or weeks. This is something in 30 minutes. You sign up, you can get this up and running. If you need help, book a call with me or one of my team, or join our tutoring sessions, or join our workshops, and you can get that going. So again, very quick, 30 minutes, you should have your first algorithm up and running, right? So Phalange is great. Where do you sign up? Go to lumiwealth.com and check out our all access plan. It's right up on our homepage. All access plan is the one they want to join. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about it. I love that you're so interested in this. Let me tell you a little bit more about it as well. We also have a coupon code throughout this class that you'll be able to use too. Right? Kimball says, how much do you suggest for minimum amount of money in my trading account? That really depends on what algorithm you want to run and what you want to trade specifically. When it comes to crypto, I mean, like 50 to 100 bucks is kind of the minimum there. For the most part, so you can trade fractions of crypto. You really don't need a lot of money for that. If you're trading options, you might need like $1,000, $2,000, depending on the algorithm, right? So it really depends, right? But for most algorithms, you get started with like 100, 200 bucks. You really don't need a lot to get started with, right? If you're trading options, I think 500 is the minimum with interactive brokers. So again, it's pretty low minimums, right? None of this stuff is, we're not asked. This is not something you need like thousands of dollars to get started with. Right. Cool. And Philip says super perfect. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let me tell you a few more things. So you might be thinking a few things right now, right? So let me talk about a few beliefs that people tend to have around this point in time. So you might have a belief, this is going to be very hard to get started and take many hours of your time. I've kind of already talked about this already, but the truth is we've perfected this algorithm it's taken us 4 years to do this. We've spent a lot of time building this. And we make it now really easy to get started. We have workshops to do this. We have one-on-one support. We have all this stuff. Again, you can get started in like 30 minutes to an hour with your first trade. Right. Another belief you might have is that this is just another scam to steal your money. And of course, you should be thinking that because there's a lot of them out there. There are a lot of scams. So please be vigilant about that. But the truth is that we never handle your money. I don't want your money. Don't give me your money. You put it into the brokerage account. I'll show you how to run this code, and you can run it on that brokerage account. I'm not taking any of your money, right? And I'd be very careful with people like that around the internet that are asking you to give them, 10,000, 20,000, whatever amount of money I've saved up. I've heard horror stories of people that, their life savings of like $100,000 just gave it to someone on the internet and they just ran off with it. Please don't do that. Please, be wary about these people on the internet because there are a lot of weirdos out there that do this, especially in crypto, But again, we don't touch your money. We're not holding on to that. I just show you how to run these algorithms, right? Another belief you might have is I'm not computer savvy and you won't know how to do this, right? You might say, I'm not computer savvy. I won't be able to do this. Well, the truth is that we've taught thousands of people how to do this. We've had students that are 65 plus. I've had people that are like 70 years old that barely knew how to use a computer. One of our past students, he wasn't even able to get on Zoom. Literally, it took me 2 hours to help him set a Zoom up. It drove me a little crazy, to be honest with you. But we got a Zoom up and running, right? You guys are all here on Zoom. At least you guys all know how to do that, right? But we were able to show this guy how to run algorithms, right? We got him up and running. He has algorithms. He's been running them for a while now. If we can get him to do this, someone who's like 70 years old, who could barely use a computer, wasn't even able to get up on Zoom. If he can run algorithms, believe me, you can run it too, right? This is not rocket science. This is, copy paste. We have lots of support for you to do this stuff. We have all these different classes, all these different ways to support you. So, even if you're not computer savvy, this is something that you can definitely do. Another belief you might have, because I keep saying this, that you don't need to know how to code, is you might be like, you're an amazing coder, you know how to code, and you're thinking this is going to be too easy, right? You're like, I'm a coder, I know all this stuff, it's going to be way too easy for me. Well, the truth is that we're one of the most advanced programs on algo trading in the world, right? We're very good at helping beginners, but we're also very good at taking you from a beginner to becoming super advanced and building really, really advanced stuff. We have classes on machine learning. We have classes on complicated options trading, all that kind of stuff. And if you are a coder, you're going to be able to use this code. You're going to learn a lot of stuff in our programs to really take things to the next level. If you are a coder, holy crap, I've seen people make really, really, really good money doing this stuff that have a coding background. I'll show you one of the people actually that are part of our program, Santayan. I'm going to show you a video about him in a second. He was making like 400% or 500% a year trading his algorithms, doing this stuff. He was very, very successful. So if you are a coder, we can show you how to use that ability to really take things to the next level. Okay? Another belief you might have is that this will be expensive. And the truth is that it's way more expensive to screw up your investments. Okay. Let's put it this way. I've been investing for quite some time now. I've been able to bring these portfolios up to multi-million dollars. If I didn't know what I was doing, not only would I have lost the money that I had from the beginning, the first 10,000, 20, 50, $100,000, we would have lost that money because we didn't know what we were doing. That's very expensive, right? To lose all your investments. But even more than that is we would have never had these millions of dollars, right? We would have never made that money to begin with, right? So even if you think these courses cost some money, a couple $100, whatever, which is, a couple hundred, couple thousand, depending on what you're doing, right? But it's way more expensive to screw up your investments. That's going to be a lot more costly to you. Okay. Another belief you may have is that you're new to investing and you want to develop your trading strategies first. You want to learn the basics. Well, the truth is that if you start off from this perspective and you're starting with data first, you're learning the fundamentals in the right way, you're going to be off on a much better footing. A lot of people that when they start off with trading, they'll watch YouTube videos and they'll listen to people that really, quite frankly, don't know what they're talking about. And they'll lose a lot of cash, right? What we'll show you here in this program, we'll show you how to approach it from a data-centric viewpoint. We'll give you algorithms that you can use right out of the box so that you're not making these mistakes to begin with, right? So we're going to help you avoid that, right? Okay, we got a few questions here, so let me answer a few of these questions. Azuka says, how long before we have Schwab trading? It's going to take a little while because they just acquired TD Ameritrade, so we're waiting for them to finish that up. So it might take a few months before we have Schwab, right? However, I would recommend that you use some of our other brokers because you can get started right away. It's not that difficult to open up a new brokerage and switch things over, right? But we are definitely working on Schwab. It's unfortunately it's not up to me, right? It's up to Schwab. They're building out their new API. They said they'd have it by the winter. It hasn't been ready yet. Now they're saying, by the summertime. I don't know. It's really up to Schwab when they're ready. But whenever they are, we're going to link up to Schwab. That's a good question. Thank you. Thank you for asking that, Azuka. And Azuka also asks, does Kraken do options? Kraken does crypto trading, right? So as far as I know, they don't do options of any kind of crypto or anything else. Right? I'd recommend using interactive brokers. That's how you can actually get started with this stuff. If you want to trade options, I'd recommend interactive brokers. They're one of the best brokerages in the world. They're actually much better than Schwab in many ways. They have cheaper rates. They have a really good service for all these different things. So I'd recommend if you want to trade options, use interactive brokers. It's the name of a company, interactivebrokers.com. Right. Okay, Misha asks, so sorry, my grandson just walked into a room and caused me to miss the answer as to how much money should be in our trading account. So Misha, you really don't need a lot to get started. If you're running a crypto algorithm, you can start with as little as 100. If you're running stock algorithms, you could probably also start with like 100, $200. If you're running options algorithms, you're going to need a little bit more. Be like maybe $500 is usually a starting thing with interactive brokers. So anywhere from $100 to $500 is what you need to start with. No problem, Misha. And Flange says, I have an E-Trade brokerage account. Can you work with that? No. So unfortunately, not every broker works with trading algorithms. You're going to have to work with the broker that allows for trading algorithms. E-Trade, as far as I know, does not allow trading algorithms. So you're going to have to open up an account with Interactive Brokers or with Alpaca or with any of these other supported brokerages, which is really not that hard, right? It doesn't take a lot of time to do that. And to be quite honest with you, I would recommend, like, I actually have like 20 brokerage accounts personally, right? Because every algorithm that I run it in a different account, right? Because I want to have each algorithm have its like completely own thing. So it's not like you're going to be able to run this algorithm on your main account. And if you think you're going to be able to trade back and forth, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to confuse the bot. It's going to end up causing all sorts of stupid mistakes, right? So whenever you do run a bot, you should open up a separate account for that bot by itself, and you could run it that way, right? Because otherwise the bot gets confused, and if you're in there trading, it thinks it needs to buy something, and then you sold it or something, like you're going to confuse it, right? Whenever you run a bot, open up a new brokerage account and link that bot to that brokerage account, and that bot just completely owns that account. That's the way to do it, right? Kimball says, does Interactive allow crypto bots? Yes, it does. Interactive Brokers does allow crypto trading bots. Yes, it does. They're one of the top brokerages in the world, Interactive Brokers. They're fantastic. You can do like a lot of stuff with them. They have really good rates on things. Interactive Brokers, I think, is probably the biggest brokerage in the world. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's literally the biggest brokerage on the planet. Like if you talk to all the major hedge funds and all that, they're all trading through Interactive Brokers. And the reason why is because they're international. They're not only in the United States, but they're in Canada, they're in Australia, they're in China, they're across all of Europe. They're all over the place. You could trade any of these stocks or anything across the world, right? It has very, very low rates on things, so low margin rates. Fees are very low. They have really good customer service. Like Interactive Brokers is amazing, right? That's why we work with them, by the way, right? We spend a lot of time choosing our brokers, and Interactive Brokers is a very easy decision. They're literally one of the best brokers on earth, right? So yeah, and they can do crypto, they can do forex, they can do options, they can do futures, they can do all sorts of stuff. So again, one of the best brokers on earth. Okay, cool. You guys have a lot of questions. It's fantastic. I love how interactive this is. It's great. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. So you guys want to see some case studies, right? You guys want to hear from a few students, right? I can show you a few students. I'm going to show you two actually, right? Two students that have taken our classes in the past before and kind of what they got out of it. Don't hear it from me, hear it from them. I mean, are you guys interested in seeing this? All right. Okay, so let me play these case studies for you here. Okay. And by the way, if you want to see more, just go to lumiwealth.com/testimonials. There's quite a few more in here, right? We have quite a few testimonials here. To be honest with you, we need to actually go off and ask a few more people. We have so many people that have taken our courses now. We don't ask too often for these testimonials. We should ask for them more often because we really have a lot of very happy students. This is something that I pride myself on. We work our asses off to make sure that our clients are happy. And you could listen to them here. It's amazing how many people I hear from in the past that like love our program. So I'm gonna play for you two case studies. But again, there's a lot more here that you can check out on testimonials. Everything from people that never knew how to code to people that are excellent coders to people that started trading to people that just want to learn how to do this stuff. Like we have this whole huge spectrum of everyone. So let me play a few of them for you here. But again, if you want to keep watching them, feel free to do that. All right. Okay, and there's another question here from Phalange. I would like to start as soon as possible. When's my next step/time? You could get started right now. Just wait until the end of this presentation and I'll get you a coupon code as well, so you can save some money on it. But you can get started right away. You can build this thing up tonight. You can book a call with one of us to do a kickoff call as well to make sure that you get started on the right foot. But yeah, you can get started literally right now, right? Just go to lumiwealth.com, check out our all access plan. You can do that. And then again, if you stick around in a few minutes, I'm going to be giving you a coupon code as well, so you can save a bit of money too. All right. It says, cool, look forward to it. Awesome. Very cool. Glad to have you part of our plans. Okay, cool. So let me play you a few of these testimonials. So here's one person who took our class. His name is Sintayan. He took our classes a couple years ago. He's one of our earlier members, actually. And this guy, he's a programmer. So he does know how to code. That's what he does for a living, right? So just to show you that, we can, if you're a coder, we can definitely show you how to do this stuff, right? On how to take things to the next level. Last I heard from him, he was making some like 400 or 500% a year on his trading. It was freaking incredible. He's also a very active member of the community. So if you go into our Discord channels, you'll hear from him very often, and you could actually have a chat with him. I talk with him quite often, right? So let me play you his testimonial. I basically asked him a bunch of questions, like what do you think about the program and all that. So let me play that for you. I'm just going to play the first 2 minutes. It's a 15-minute long video. I want to be respectful of your time. But if you guys want to keep watching it, feel free to check out this presentation. Or again, you can go to lumiwealth.com/testimonials and you can keep watching it. All right. So I'll play for you the first 2 minutes. All right. Yeah, so let's get this kicked off.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose LumiWealth.
Sure. So I am a computer science graduate, and I am a software developer currently. I develop automations for my current company that I'm working for. And also I develop full stack applications, web apps and APIs, as well as for my company. What attracted me about LumiWealth was I loved some of their resources available on YouTube, which told me right from the beginning, like what to expect from the classes. And also, I was extremely interested to learn finance and algorithmic trading. I've been trading from a Wall Street veteran like you, Robert. I mean, you have extensive experience in leading teams into this in a particular branch of finance, and I was completely. I really wanted to be a part of that as well. I really love that during the classes we'll be going to perform like 2 live projects, which would give us like real hands-on experience, what we would expect in the real financial world. Weekly 1-hour interactions with you and with the fellow students, that is always an added advantage that we have. Unlimited discussions and help that I got during my time, especially in the Discord channel that we had, was tremendously valuable to me. And also the opportunity to book, one-on-one time with you if I get stuck. I mean, that is something that is even more valuable, and that tremendously attracted me to LumiWealth. And you don't get that in other courses or any other. I mean, even if you selected a video course, you wouldn't get all these benefits. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely people love this, the live nature of things. Thank you for
exactly.
that. I feel like you answered a bunch of the other questions.
Okay, so let me stop it there. Right, so that's Sintayan. Like I said, he was a computer programmer, went through this and was able to build some really, really cool stuff. It's amazing what he was able to build. So if you are a programmer, he's, I think, a very good example. You could watch more of his interview and you can hear more about kind of his experiences. If you're not a coder, right, Latoya is someone who's maybe you would relate to a little bit more. So again, I told you Latoya, she's a pharmacist. She came to us, never knew how to code anything, and ended up learning how to do this stuff, built some really amazing algorithms, right? This is, by the way, before we even had some of our latest stuff where you don't even need to know how to code. But this was even a little bit before that. But again, she joined, she learned how to code. She got even a really good job out of it. It's quite amazing. So let me play to you what she thought about our courses, and you could watch the first couple of minutes as well. Okay, so let me get that started.
Hi, my name is Latoya. I took LumiWealth's live algorithmic trading course, the pre-recorded options trading course, and I'm signed up to take the machine learning and data science course later this month. I'm a pharmacist by training. I have no previous background or experience in coding. As far as finance goes, I was primarily a long-term buy and hold investor until about a year before taking the course, when I began to learn more about options and day trading. I was by no means profitable consistently in my day trades. I found that with my full-time job, there was limited time for me to get enough chart time to get better at trading, since my work hours typically overlapped with market hours for options trading. I started to see advertisements for Lumi Wealth, and it was really attractive due to the ability to build algorithms to trade without constant input from me, and to be able to take some of the emotions out of trading, which was really tainting a lot of my trades. I loved the class. I was intimidated by the fact that I did not have any coding experience and was wondering whether or not I would really be able to go from zero knowledge to creating a bot within that 12-week time frame of the course. But Lumi Wealth guarantees that you will be able to create a bot, or not only do they refund you, but they pay you something like $600. So I was pretty confident about that. I joined some of the free webinars before I signed up for the courses. And I also joined their free Discord community before signing up and booked a call with them to discuss the courses. So I was really impressed by the knowledge base of the instructors during the free webinars and how responsive everyone was when I asked questions during the call, and in the Discord community, they answer questions very quickly in the Discord channels. The courses also have lifetime access. So when there are updates to the course material or when there are updates to Lumi.
Okay, so let me stop it there. All right. So as Latoya, like I said, she joined us. She had no coding experience. She was able to go through this, build all these bots. And again, she actually joined even a while ago. She joined us, I think, 8 months ago or something like that, 8-9 months ago. And we've really improved our programs even more since then. We've made our programs a lot easier to get started with. We made things to where these are more like monthly subscription type things, so they're a lot cheaper now too. So a lot of advances even after Latoya went through this. So I think if she had to say this stuff today, she'd have even better things to say today because we've made a lot of improvements to our programs. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, if you guys want to watch more of Latoya talk about the course, or if you want to watch more of some tie-in, check out our website. lumiwealth.com/testimonials. You'll hear from them and a bunch of other people about all of our programs. Jorge says, can we attend tomorrow's class? Yes, Jorge, if you sign up today, you can attend the class tomorrow. All right, so if you sign up today, we'll send you a Zoom link and you can actually join our class tomorrow on Tuesday and help us build some new algorithms. We have a bunch of like really cool ideas to build. We're building some stuff around our Congress bot. I actually want to propose to build a bot tomorrow for breakouts in crypto. I think that'd be really cool, especially now that crypto is starting to come back, like looking for what crypto coins are taking off and like buy those. I think there's like a really cool algorithm that we could build there. But yeah, Jorge, if you want to join our classes, sign up today and you'll be able to actually join our class tomorrow, right? Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, cool. All right. So in other words, who is this for? Okay. So these classes are for people who have never coded a day in their lives before. You saw that with Latoya, right? But it's also for professional programmers. If you've coded, if you work as a professional programmer, you'll still get a lot out of this because we can take it to the really advanced kind of stuff, right? It's also for those of you, if you have $1 million to invest, we can help you with that. We have some clients that have a lot of money and we help them out with that. But also if you're just getting started, if you have like $100 that you want to get started with, we can help you with that too. There's a lot of students that get started, $100 accounts, $50 accounts, $500 accounts. I was helping someone the other day with like $250 and he invested in one of the algorithms. He's already grown that to like $350, like just got started, right? He's already made $100, right? So this really is for if you're a coder, if you're not a coder, if you have a lot of money, or if you have just a little bit of money getting started, it's for both of those, right? Or all four, right? Okay, so are you guys ready to see the full offer of everything that I've been telling you about? And you want to see basically everything that you get with this? Let me show you that, and let me add on, because I added on these two things. We're constantly adding new features, by the way. So we added on these two new features. So I'm going to add that here. I forgot to fully update this to talk about all this stuff. But here is all that you're going to get again, right? So you're going to get all these different courses, the algo trading course to get started with all this stuff, the AI for trading course, if you want to get really good at this stuff, get deep into like machine learning and AI. There's an options trading class. We want to learn how to do this for options specifically. There's a crypto trading class. If you want to do it specifically for crypto. We probably should build a Forex class. You guys are making me want to do that as well. But you could use a lot of this knowledge to even do Forex trading too. There's our blockchain development course. So you can learn how to do that, how to build your own crypto coins and whatnot. It's a Web3 class that teaches you how to take it to the next level. We have our live algo hour, which is amazing. It's like this innovation lab that we run every Tuesday to build new algorithms. It's awesome. You also get one-on-one support. So if you need help with any of these things, we'll help you out with that. You also get trading signals. This is that new feature. This thing is awesome. Again, we have these 3 different algorithms right now trading that you can follow along. You don't even have to code any of these things. You just get a notification, right? And we're going to be adding in more algorithms there as well. And then we also have weekly tutoring sessions. We're going to be doing tutoring sessions every Wednesday, where you could actually join in. So if you're stuck with anything, you could just join in. There's going to be like 3 hours open where you can come in and say, oh, share my screen, need help with this or that. Or if you want to like build an algorithm, you could join in. We could help you build an algorithm during that class. So it's going to be a really, really cool thing, these weekly tutoring sessions as well. All right. Before I get started going into this, I just want to read here. Wendell says, TAC. TAC means yes. Thank you, Wendell. It's fantastic. I love the Polish. It's great. It's fantastic, Wendell. Thank you. It's a good chuckle. Okay, cool. So let me get deep into each one of these. Okay. I'm not going to be able to get deep into these trading signals and weekly tutoring sessions. I'll just tell you a little bit about them. But here's going through a couple of them, right? So here is our algorithmic trading course. Okay, so this is like our flagship course. We spent years building this. It's been like 4 or 5 years in the making. We've gone through so many iterations. This thing's gotten really, really good. What it is, it's a 12-week class on how to build your own trading algorithms. So if you want to get really good at this stuff, this is how you do it. It'll take you everything from you never knew how to code at the beginning to all the way into like coding superhero by the end, building your own algorithms, right? Where you're going to get out of this class, you're going to learn how to back test and run your algorithms live. You're going to learn how to create your own algorithms from scratch. So if you have some of your own ideas, you'll learn how to build it from scratch, and you'll learn how to modify your existing algorithms. You're also going to get 50 algorithms in this class that's been developed by us, LumiWealth, and by our students. You're going to get access to that. This class normally goes, if you go on our website, it's $2,995. It's what this class normally costs. You can click on it here, lumiwealth.com. You can check it out. That's how much normally this class would go for. Okay? So you're going to get that included as part of the all access plan. Okay? On top of that, you're also going to get our artificial intelligence for trading course as well. Okay. What this class is it's an 8-week long course that teaches you how to build custom AI models to use for your trading, right? So you'll learn how to use artificial intelligence to analyze trades and how to actually create your own trades and run this stuff from scratch. So you can build like really cool AI models, things like ChatGPT, or even more sophisticated things than that. They're using machine learning to analyze things, right? What you'll get from this is you'll learn the fundamentals of machine learning and AI. You'll learn how to do this. Not only are you going to learn how to do this with trading, but you're also going to learn a valuable new skill with machine learning and AI. But then you're also going to learn how to use that machine learning and AI to analyze stocks and more, meaning analyze stocks, analyze crypto, analyze Forex, futures. You'll learn how to use machine learning and AI to analyze all those different types of financial assets. And then you're also going to learn how to create and use your own large language model, an LLM, which is basically like ChatGPT, right? So you'll learn how to use that sort of thing, create your own, and apply it to financial applications, right? So you'll learn how to actually apply AI to the world of trading, right? This class normally goes for $2,995. It's taught by a very smart guy, Greg Tanaka. He's a guy that he graduated from Stanford, from Caltech. I think he has a PhD in artificial intelligence. He also runs his own company. Last I heard, he got funded like $12 million by like a top VC by Andreessen Horowitz. Really, really smart guy. He's the one that teaches this class. Normally, we sell this class for $2,995, but this class will be included with the all access plan as well. If you want to learn more about it, you can click on this link here. Right. So in total, so far, you're going to get 2 classes, right? So you're going to get the Algo Trading course, which is almost $3,000 normally, and you're going to get the AI class, which is almost $3,000 normally. For a grand total so far, how much value are you getting? You're getting $5,990 of value so far as part of the all access plan. But there's more. You're going to get more as part of this plan, right? As I mentioned, you're also going to get the options trading course, right? So you're going to learn how to apply all this algorithmic trading stuff to the world of options, right? So what it is it's an 8-week class on how to create algorithms that trade options, right? So you're gonna learn about the fundamentals of options trading, and we look at it from like a data-centric viewpoint, right? So you'll learn how to like apply that in a data-centric kind of way. You also learn how to backtest and trade options algorithms. And then you're also going to get over 10 algorithms that are specifically made for options. I showed you a couple of them today, like that call option bot, the straddle bot. We also have an iron condor bot. We have a martingale bot. We have a bunch of other ones. You're going to get access to all those options bots. Are really freaking cool. These things are some of the most impressive bots that we've been making lately are the options ones, and you're going to get access to this. Normally, we sell this class again for $2,995. You can view it here. But again, you're not going to have to pay that much because you're going to get it as part of the all access plan. Right. So again, to summarize, you're going to get 3 different classes: the algo trading class, the AI for trading class, and options trading class, each about $3,000 each. When you add that up, is a total value of $8,985 so far. Right. But you're going to get more. You're also going to get our crypto algorithms class, which is basically an 8-week class on how to create trading algorithms specifically for crypto coins. Right? There are some specific things like how do you connect to different brokers. Crypto coins have their own unique way of analyzing them and all that. We'll teach you how to do that, how to make these algorithms for it, and how to apply these algorithms to cryptocurrencies, right? This class also comes with 15 specific crypto algorithms that you'll be able to use right out of the box. And again, this class, as with our other classes, normally costs $2,995, but it's going to be part of this all access plan as well, right? Okay, so in total now, you're getting 4 different classes. Each class is about $2,995. When you add that all up together, it's an $11,980 value so far, right? But there's more, right? You're also going to get our blockchain development course. And our blockchain development course is basically an 8-week class on how to create your own decentralized applications. So things like crypto coins or NFTs. I've seen people make lending products as well. You can make like gambling products, right? Like people have used like crypto coins to make like their own like gambling websites and stuff, right? It's kind of crazy. You could do a lot of really cool stuff with blockchain development. So you'll learn how to do that stuff. It's an 8-week long class on how to do this. And you'll learn the fundamentals of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And you also learn how to use Solidity, which is a language, a programming language that's used for Ethereum, the crypto coin Ethereum. And you'll learn how to use that language to build all these really cool things, right? Normally, we sell this class for $2,995. But again, it's going to come included as part of this all access plan, right? And again, you can click here to learn more about it. Right, so again, so far you have 5 classes, $2,995 each, for a grand total of $14,975 in total value so far, right? But there's more. You're also going to get the Web3 class. So what is the Web3 development class? It's basically an 8-week long class on how to create your own decentralized websites, right? So whereas the blockchain class teaches you how to do the blockchain part of it, it's like the database part. This will show you how to build the website part of it, right? So it's the two together will help you learn how to build some really, really cool stuff. So you'll learn how to build things like exchanges or your own crypto games. You'll learn how to do all that kind of stuff. You can make your own, again, your own casino. You can make like a lending company, all this stuff using blockchain and Web3. You'll learn how to build this stuff. It's also 8 weeks. And you'll get into all the details of how to create applications, how to take these decentralized applications, turn them into websites. And you'll learn things like React.js, which is how to build websites. And you also learn how to pair React.js with these Solidity projects. So you learn how to meld the two together, right? So you'll learn how to do the backend part of it, how to do the front end part, and you'll be able to build some really cool stuff. So the value of this course normally, again, is $2,995. That's how much we sell classes for. And again, that's going to be part of the all access plan. Okay, so here we have a total value of $17,970 so far is what you're getting with this class, okay? With this program, the all access plan. But you're also going to get more. You're also going to get access to our live Algo Hour community and the course. So what is this? Basically, it's a class that we run every Tuesday. It's really, really awesome. It's my favorite class to teach. I love doing this. Basically, people join in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we take a vote. Like, what do you want to build today? Right? I'll take that vote and say, like, some people say, okay, I want to build an options algorithm, or I want to build this, or I want to build a breakout algorithm, or I want to build a Bollinger Band strategy. We have all these different ideas every week, and we'll take a vote on it, and we build that during class, right? So you're not writing any code. I'm the one writing code, but you're the ones telling me what we should be building. You'll say, oh, what if we tried this? What if we change this thing to this? And what if we added this extra, all sorts of different things, right? What if we use the call option instead of a put option? What, like, you could have all these different suggestions, right? And I'm going to be building it, and we'll see what the results are. We'll back test it. And when we're done, you'll be able to take that code and use it, right? You'll be able to modify it if you want to, or you can just take it and start using it and run it yourself, right? So what you get again is you get to ask the instructor to build an algorithm for you. You'll be able to watch other algorithms get created. There's a huge opportunity to learn some really good strategies because people have some great ideas in this. I've learned a lot about trading from just teaching this class. I've learned a lot because people have all these great ideas and we build them, right? And so far we have 20 algorithms included in this class, but that's growing very quickly, right? Like, we're literally making a new algorithm every week, if not more than one. So this database of algorithms is growing really, really fast. This live algo hour we normally sell for $249 a month, okay? But this will be included as part of the all access plan, okay? So far you're getting all these different classes here. You're getting 6 different classes, which all go for normally about $3,000 each. And you're going to get the live algo hour, which is normally $250 a month. So far the total value of what you're getting in the all access plan is about $18,000 and $250 a month. Okay? But you're going to get more. You're also going to get one-on-one support. So let's say you're going through this stuff, you get stuck. You guys are kind of asking me about this. What if I need help? What if I don't know how to set this up? Just book a call, right? You get 2 hours every month where you can book a call with me or with someone else from our team, and we can help you get set up. So if you need help setting up your computer, if you need help modifying an algorithm, if you're stuck somewhere with your brokerage, whatever you need help with, we can help you out. Okay. Now, normally we charge $200 a month, or sorry, $200 an hour for our time, right? That's how I charge. If someone wants me to build an algorithm for them, I'm going to charge them $200 an hour. But we're going to keep that included as part of this all access plan. So it's usually $400 a month, but you're going to get that as part of this all access plan, right? Okay. So far the value that you're getting is almost $18,000 and $650 a month. That's what this would cost you if you bought all these things separately on our website. Now, I also told you we added on 2 new features. We also added on our trading signals, which we're selling for $40 a month, and we're going to raise the price on that quite soon. I think we're going to start charging like $100 or $200 a month for it once we start adding in our options algorithms, because I know people charge a lot for those types of signals, and they really are quite good signals, right? So you're also going to get trading signals as part of this as well, included as in the all access plan, and you're also going to get what's the other thing, our tutoring classes that are weekly tutoring classes that you get to join in. So again, if you're stuck anywhere, or if you want to see other people, what they're up to, or if you want to build an algorithm during that time, whatever you want, we can have that part of it as well, right? So it's going to be once a week. You're going to be able to join our tutoring classes as well, right? So a lot of stuff. You're going to get a lot of value if you take all that together. That's maybe another $300 a month worth of value of those 2 things I told you. So you're getting $18,000 and $650 a month of value in this all access plan. So, how much do you think it costs, right? Like, what do you think this will cost? If you're getting that much value, you're getting $18,000 worth of value, you're getting $650 a month worth of value, and you're getting these 2 new features, and we keep adding in new features constantly. What do you think this costs? What do you think this is worth? Right? What would you pay for this? What was the value of this, right? So I want you to think about that. But before we get to that, do you want to get your coupon code? All right, so I promised you guys a coupon code. You stuck around. Do you guys want your coupon code? All right. So again, as promised, here's your coupon code. If you guys want to save some money, and see here, yes, perfect, awesome, thanks guys. So if you want to save 20% off, and this, by the way, is only valid until tomorrow. I have this thing set up so that this time tomorrow, it's 10 p.m., 10:15 p.m. Eastern time right now. So this coupon code is going to shut down in exactly 24 hours. So I've set it up to do that. So let me share this into your chat. So if you guys want to save 20% off, go to our website. In checkout, there's a little thing that says, do you have a coupon code? Just fill that in and push the button, and you'll get 20% off using this coupon code, and 20% off every month going forward, not just the first month. All right. So use this coupon code RFRWMA. And again, I'm going to be shutting this thing off tomorrow. I've already set a timer up tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern time. This thing shuts down. So if you want to save that money, make sure that you use it in the next 24 hours. All right. So again, so you might be asking, how much does this cost? Right? How much do you think this costs? Right? Brian says, Brian says, I don't have your email, so send your proposal on Discord. Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't had a chance to respond yet. Sorry, Brian. I've been quite busy. But I will get back to you soon, Brian. Thank you. So question, guys. So how much do you think this costs? I talked about, you get all these different classes. These classes we normally sell for $3,000 a pop. You're getting our live algo hour. You're getting our one-on-one calls. If you bought these things separately, it'd be $18,000 plus a bunch of monthly fees. We're also getting you now trading signals on top of that. We're also getting you these weekly tutoring sessions. So you get a lot for this. So how much do you think this costs, right? What do you think this is actually going to cost you? All right. Well, you're definitely not going to be paying anywhere near that $18,000. So right now we have set up this all access plan costs. What we charge is $599 a month. So $600 a month. All right. Again, you're going to get all those things, $18,000 worth of value. You're going to save yourself hundreds of hours of work. You're going to be able to get started very quickly. If you use these algorithms, I bet you can make some very good money doing it. I can't guarantee you that, of course, but I could tell you what we've been able to accomplish, what our students have been able to accomplish over time. So you could use our algorithms, you could run these things, right, for only $599 a month. And I gave you guys that coupon code, so you get to knock an extra 20% off of that as well, right? If you guys want to check out this plan, here's the link. I'm going to share with you guys the link here. I'm going to click on this page quickly. All right, there you go. There's the link to it. Let me click on it here. This is basically our all access plan. You could check it out through here. There's a little bit of the stuff that I talked about. Here's a little blurb about the all access plan. See what you get with it, all the different benefits, all the different classes included in here, right? And then again, total value of that for $599 a month. So if you want to get started, just click on this add to cart button and you guys can get started right now. You guys are asking me, when can I get started? You could literally click on this now and have an algorithm running for you in the next half an hour to an hour. If you need help with it, reach out to me and I can help you set that up as well if you need help. All right, so you can have your first algorithm running like right away, pretty much, right? Cool. And Andrew asks, how are the different courses run? Are they live courses or recorded courses? So Andrew, it's a mixture, right? So we have our live algo hour class, which is live every week, right? We have our live tutoring sessions, which are live every week. We have our workshops that run like once a month or once every few weeks. We run workshops that are live. And then we have a bunch of recorded content. So a lot of those courses that you see, those are pre-recorded and we run them live every once in a while, right? So you can watch the recorded content, or if you want to wait for a live class, it happens on a regular basis as well, right? So we have a combination of these pre-recorded classes and the live classes. We try to have a nice mix, right? Because some people, they can't attend the live classes because they're busy and, life gets in the way. So they want the recorded stuff. So we have a lot of recorded stuff. And there's some people that prefer doing things live, right? And I'm one of those people. I like joining live. I like being able to ask the questions. To me, I love the whole live nature of things. So we run a lot of live classes. We run workshops live. We run our classes live every once in a while. We have our Algo Trading class, for example, right now is running live on Thursdays. Our option class right now is running live on Sundays. You guys can participate down if you want. You could jump in if you want. We have our workshops. We have a bunch of stuff that runs live. So again, it's a mixture of the two. Right. Hopefully that answers your question, Andrew. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, cool. So there's an all access plan, $5.99 a month, right? And you get that 20% off coupon as well, which I showed you. Or if you guys want to save even more money, and this has become quite a popular option, a lot of people love buying this, is if you want to save even more money, you can get the annual plan, right? So if you do the math, if you add up, $600 a month, $5.99 a month, right, times 12, that's about $7,188, right? So it's something like, it's a little over $7,000 if you were to stay on board for a year and you want to be part of all our stuff. Instead, what you could do is you could save a whole bunch of money by buying the year in advance, right? So it's $4,995 per year if you buy in advance. So that's saving you some like $2,000, more than $2,000, $2,200 you save, or 31%. And on top of that, you also get another 20% off with the coupon code, right? So it's $5,000-ish. You knock off another 20%. So it's something like $4,000 for the entire year, right? That's our live algo hour for the whole year. That's all of our workshops. That's our trading signals. That's the support every month. That's 2 hours of one-on-one time. That's our tutoring sessions. You get all that stuff for the next year for only $4,995 a year, or if you get that 20% off coupon code, so about $4,000 for the entire year of help with all this stuff. And if you want to sign up for that, basically, again, you go to the same course, lumiwealth.com/all access plan, and you just scroll down a little further here. It's $4,995. You just basically click on this, add to cart, and then again, when you check out, make sure you put on that coupon code to save you that extra 20%. So Wendell asked a question. I understand if it can't be done, could my son at least look over my shoulder? Yeah, that's no problem, Wendell. We actually have a lot of people do that. We actually, I was just talking to someone else today that literally signed up like that. Father and son, we don't charge extra for the two of you. If you guys want to take the class together, that's no problem. We actually have a lot of people doing that, right? So literally, I was talking to someone today where him and his son signed up. His son's the one that's going to be taking the classes. His father's going to be helping him out with the finance stuff. So you can absolutely do that, yes, if you want to, right? So that's a good question, Wendell. Thank you for asking it. So Andrew says, does the 20% off for the monthly plan apply only for 1 month or every month as long as membership's active? The second one, Andrew. So it's 20% off every month going forward, right? So it's not just the first month, it's 20% off forever, right? So if you decide to stay with us for, 2-3 years, you're gonna have 20% off forever. And also keep in mind, we tend to raise our prices, right? If you sign up now, you get this price locked in, right? So if we ever raise our prices in the future, which we probably will be raising our prices in a couple months to maybe $6.99 or $7.99, you're going to be locked in at this price, right? So you're not going to have to deal with those price increases. So not only do you get 20% off every month going forward, but you also get the price locked in going forward too. Thank you for asking, Andrew. That's a good question. Okay, cool. So again, if you had to do this on your own, right? Remember, if you had to do this on your own, you'd probably have to spend 500 hours learning how to create algorithms. It took a long time for me to do it. I have a strong programming background. I have a master's in finance. It took me quite a while to learn how to do this stuff. You're going to be able to get past all of that. Will help you get started much, much faster. You're also going to get a bunch of these algorithms. So these algorithms, usually, let's say you want to go off and have someone else make these algorithms for you. Usually they're going to charge you something like $150 an hour. The average algorithm takes maybe 20 hours to build. That's kind of like one of the simpler ones. So we're talking about something like $3,000 for an algorithm if you want someone else to build it for you, right? You could find people on the internet that could do that for you. but that's first of all assuming they don't suck, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what they're doing. And second of all, assuming that they have a good strategy to build, right? So if you want to go do this on your own and you want to build your own algorithms, you'll be spending $3,000 per algorithm. And, maybe it doesn't even work. Maybe they don't know how to finish it off. Maybe they build something that's crap and doesn't make any money, right? So think about that for a second if you're thinking about some alternatives, right? So in other words, if we have 50 algorithms in our code bank that you get to have access to, at $3,000 per algorithm, that means you're saving like $150,000 in creating your own algorithms. So just to look at it in a different perspective, right? And then on top of that, you're going to save yourself, thousands of dollars in mistakes, right? Because a lot of people, they build this stuff, they build it the wrong way, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of people cause like really big issues at the beginning. So there's a lot of ways that you can save yourself by going through our courses, right? We also have a guarantee. If you're not happy with our program for whatever reason, you don't even have to give me a reason. Just say, I don't like it, or you just say, whatever, I don't want to do it. We'll give you your money back within 30 days. We'll fully refund you, right? So this is not one of those things that, we don't really ever do it. It's very rare that we give money back, but I can tell you, for example, one person, he signed up with us and he got into a car accident over the weekend and he's like, I won't be able to attend anymore. No problem, money back, right? But again, you don't have to give me a reason. We have this money back guarantee for up to 30 days. So, feel confident when you build this stuff, or when you go through this stuff, you're not going to be held liable for this stuff. If you do it and for some reason you can't go through it or with it or whatever, right? So we do have that money back guarantee, right? Okay, cool. So coupon code 24 hours, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, this thing expires. So if you want to save 20% off, make sure you sign up in the next 24 hours. I'm going to post this coupon code again into the chat. It is RFRWMA. And if you want to go access the course, I'm going to share with you this link again as well. It's lumiwealth.com/all-access-plan. You can also just go to our website, lumiwealth.com, scroll down, you'll see all access plan on there. You can click on it there as well. All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave that up. This thing expires in 24 hours. And now I'm going to open this up to any questions. So any last minute questions that you guys have. You guys have been asking some great questions throughout. I see there's a few more up here, so I'm going to start answering them now. But if you have any questions, feel free to type them out. You could also turn on your microphones if you want. Sometimes that's a little easier. You don't have to type. That's why Zoom is great, right? You could turn your microphones so we could talk with voice. By the way, here's a good chance. If you do have any last questions, please let me know and type them in or turn on your microphone or however you want to ask the questions, right? So I'm going to start reading some of these off. So Brian says, could the algorithms be used to generate income to pay for the monthly course cost? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? Is hopefully you guys are going to be able, I can't guarantee you any kind of returns. Let's put it that way. No, if anyone ever guarantees you returns in the stock market or anything like that, they're just flat out lying to you, right? So I can't guarantee that you'll make any money, but you can absolutely sign up for the course and run them and hopefully make quite a bit of money that can pay the course off. I know a lot of people that do that, right? A lot of people that are taking the course, they're paying the monthly fee, but they're also making enough money to pay that and more so, right? That's why they keep paying us, right? We have some very good customers. People stick around with us for quite a while. We have people that have been with us for many, many months now, or some people for many, many years. That's why they keep coming back, right? Because we're helping them out here. So that's definitely the idea. You take this course, you hopefully start making some money, and that could pay off this monthly fee and then some, right? So Misha asked, will there be another Zoom presentation? I would like my brother to hear your presentation. Yeah, I mean, you can send him the recording of this if you want. We will be sending out the recording. So you could send that if you want. But we generally do this presentation like once a month or once every 2 weeks, right? So we'll be doing this again probably in another 2 weeks if you want him to attend live, right? But otherwise, we will be sending out the recording, Misha, right? So again, recording, or we do this. I do this basically every 2 weeks, right? So, Brian asks, if this is true, then it would be easy for everyone to purchase a subscription. It would be a win-win solution, offset and pay for the course. Yeah, I agree, Brian. I mean, that's kind of the idea here, right? So you take the course, and that you hopefully make some money out of this. Again, I can't guarantee anything. First of all, I can't guarantee any returns because, you know, that's just not the nature of investing. There is risks involved, right? So it's not a guaranteed money, and no one in any investing can possibly say that, except if they're giving you a savings account. Right? It's the only thing that has no risk. Even savings accounts have a little bit of risk, you know, like if the bank goes under or something. But yeah, I mean, the idea is you take this class and that you'll make enough money to not only pay off the subscription, but make a heck of a lot more money, make a heck of a lot more money than that. Right. So that's definitely the idea here. Thanks for that question, Brian. Okay, Azuka asks, if I start out with a monthly pay and decide to pay off the rest in 1 month, do I get the yearly discount at that point? Yeah, I mean, if you want to switch over, Azuka, yeah, we can talk about that. We don't normally do that sort of thing. But if you take it for a month and you want to switch, you could talk to someone on our sales team and they could probably hook you up with that. It's not something that we normally do. If you want to try it out, you could definitely try that out, Azuka. That's fine. Yeah. Brian says that's awesome. Thanks, Robert. Thank you, Brian. Kimball says, if I start with monthly plan, may I change to annual plan to lock in those savings in the future? So same question as we could just ask that. We don't normally do that, but you know, we can let it slide for you guys. If you talk to our sales team, we could probably work something out. Misha says, great, thank you. He won't believe anything I tell him, LOL. Yeah, so get him to join, you know, get him to join, either get him to watch the recording or get him to watch the live class. I'd be more than happy to talk to him. If he has any questions for me, I'd be more than happy to speak to him. I love doing this stuff, so. Phalange says, how does this work? You give an algorithm for 1 month. Not sure how does a monthly plan work. So Phalange, when you join our monthly plan, you get access to everything, right? That's why it's called the all access plan, right? So you'll immediately, once you join, you get access to all of our algorithms and you get access to all of our course recordings. So you can start learning right now. You can immediately start taking our workshop. That's probably the best way to get started is with our workshop, get you all set up. But you'll be able to watch all of our lectures. You'll be able to get access to all of our code. You'll be able to start attending our live classes, like our live class tomorrow. You'll be able to start attending that. And yeah, and as long as you're part of the monthly plan, you'll get access to all of that. You'll get access to all the code, all the recordings, all the weekly meetings that we have. You're going to get access to that immediately. All right, and let me know if that makes sense, Flange. And if you have any further questions about that, if you want me to explain it a little bit differently. Podum says, how to open account, as you say, interactive broker account. When you sign up to our all access plan, I'll show you guys how to do that. Like we have classes literally that show you how to do this from A to Z. You could also just book a call with me and I could walk you through that. But basically go to interactivebrokers.com and open an account, right? There's like a big button, open an account, right? That's if you want to trade options or Forex, right? What's even easier if you want to get started is Alpaca. There's another broker we work with if you want to trade crypto or stocks, and they're the same thing. You just go to the website and follow all the prompts. Right? It's not that difficult, right? You just fill out a form and basically that's it. Right. Awesome. Kimberly says, may I contact you about doing an article for a newsletter? Absolutely, Kimberly. Yes, that'd be great for sure. I always love doing those kinds of things. Kimberly, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach me at rob@lumiwealth.com. Just send me an email and we can set up a meeting. I would love to do that. I always love being part of any of those kinds of things. So absolutely, please reach out to me. We can definitely do it. Phalange says, I have a few more questions. Can I talk to someone individually? How? Yes, you absolutely can. So that's actually a very good question. So if any of you guys want to do this, by the way, oops, this is our backend site. If you go here, go to lumiwealth.com, okay? And on lumiwealth.com, under more, there's book a call, right? So lumiwealth.com, more, load up more, book a call down here. And what this will do is we'll get you on a call with someone from our sales team who can basically walk you through everything. So if you have any questions about anything, just book a call here And basically here's a calendar. You can pick a time. There's time tomorrow, right? So you can immediately get, even in the morning, right? You can get started, right? You can book a time, and you can basically have someone from our team explain to you exactly what you're going to get, right? So maybe that's a good idea, right? Because you have a bunch of questions. I think having someone explain it to you, and you can go back and forth and get all those questions answered, I think this is probably your best bet. So check it out, lumiwealth.com/book a call. Go to that and book a call with one of our team, and they can walk you through everything. All right. Thank you for asking that, Phalange. And that goes for anyone else too, if you guys have any additional questions. All right. Andrew says, Andrew asked a question. So can I watch the whole 12-week course in just 1 month if I have the time? Yes, you could definitely do that, Andrew. I think in the future, we're probably going to change that. So make sure you sign up soon, because in the future, I think we're going to make it so that just it goes out 1 week at a time. Right. And that's, because we want to paste it and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So if you want to go in, do the whole thing in a month, you can absolutely do that. Yes, Andrew. There you go. But then again, there's also a bunch of other classes. There's also our live classes too, right? So there's our whole live algo hour. There's also our tutoring sessions and all that. So I have a feeling that you're going to want to stick around for longer than a month. But if you wanted to do that sort of thing, you could. I personally think you'd want to do more than that, right? Just because there's, all those additional things that you get that are weekly. But yeah, it's up to you, right? Kimberly says, great, thanks, awesome, looking forward to it, Kimberly. Yeah, send me an email. We could also book a time. We could talk about this. I'd love to do that. That sounds great. Kimball says, if your course is 8 weeks in duration, do you get all the course content at the beginning, or is the material dispensed 1 week at a time? You showed a box on the UPS sorting line. Do you use mail material, or is it online where we print it out ourselves? So Kimball, it's an all online course, right? There's more than one course, by the way. You get, 6 different courses, okay? And yes, you can watch all of them at once if you wanted to, right? So you can watch all 8 weeks if you felt like sitting down and going through all that material right away. You can do that, right? Again, I would think that you'd probably want to stick around for longer, because you get a lot of support, right? We have multiple different classes that you can go through. You also get the live algo hour, where we're constantly making new stuff. You get our trading signals. You get a lot of stuff every month. But if you have one course in particular in mind, you can definitely join, go through that whole course in a month. If you want to try to do that, you can, right? There's nothing currently stopping you from doing that, although we probably will change that in the future, right? This is something that we've been talking about as a team. We probably will change that. But as of right now, we don't have anything stopping that. All right. Azuka says, thank you, Rob. It's quite informative. I'll reach out. Very cool. Awesome. Sounds great, Azuka. Feel free to book a call. Feel free to get started with this. Again, if you guys want to save 20% off, this coupon code is live for 24 hours. So make sure you use it in the next 24 hours, because at 10 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, this thing stops working, right? Okay, Andrew has another one. Of course, we'll need longer than a month, but it would be nice to finish one course at a time. Yeah, I mean, Andrew, you can use it however you want, right? Like you can go one course at a time. You'll get a lot of the support throughout all this. It's really up to you. You have the freedom to do it as fast or as short as you want to. All right, awesome. Any other questions, guys? These are all great questions. Wendell says, either monthly or annual, I've got to do this. Sounds great, Wendell. It'd be great to have you part of the class. Definitely join in. Again, if you join that annual plan, you get to save a lot of money. You save an extra 31%, and you'll get help throughout the entire year, right? You'll get a year's worth of all these classes. You get all the updates to classes. You're going to get all the new workshops as we build them. We're going to be building a lot of really cool stuff with our all access plans, where we're like constantly doing new workshops with different instructors, and there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff. So if you do sign up to our annual plan, you're going to get a lot out of it, because we're planning on adding in a lot of new features. So there's definitely a huge advantage to that as well, not just the cost savings, right? But yeah, either way, guys, again, 24 hours for this coupon code. If you guys want to get signed up, use this coupon code here. If you have any more questions for me, feel free to email me at rob lumiwealth.com. You guys can email me if you have any further questions. You can also book a call with someone from our team at this URL here, lumiwealth.com/book a call. And yeah, and if you guys have any more questions, let me know. But this has been a huge pleasure, guys. You guys have been really fun to hang out with. You guys are very, very interactive. I love all these questions you guys are asking throughout this. This is really fun. I really liked hanging out with all you guys today. So this is really great. I hope you guys all have a great night. I hope to see you in class. If you guys sign up tonight, you'll be able to join our class tomorrow. Tomorrow we have our live algo hour. We're going to be building out some new algorithms tomorrow. I'm thinking what would be a really cool thing to do is to build a crypto breakout algorithm. I think that'd be a really cool thing to build tomorrow. We're also going to be doing these tutoring sessions every week. There's a lot of stuff that you could be a part of. So if you sign up tonight, you're going to be able to get started pretty much right away. All right. All right, guys. Awesome. Andrew says thank you. Miguel says thank you. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Again, it's been really nice hanging out with all of you guys. I hope to see you in our classes soon. And I hope you have a great night. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.